Hey everyone, welcome to another round of Firefly devs. Today we will be looking at the game textures again. We'll also do some engine work, so it's a bit of a combination between doing C++ programming for the game, remaster, project, whatever, and tweaking the textures again, so let's see where we end up. One thing we'll be focusing on today is the column blocks and the girder blocks, the one that we took a look at the last one or two streams or so with the bamboo block and some of the other column blocks like the bricks chimney. Because I couldn't stream yesterday, the power was cut right before I started streaming, so sorry for having to cancel that one. But hey, it's all good, we're back, the power is still up, let's knock on wood here, and let's hope everything works today. So it will be about like 3 hours or so of deving plus texture design. Let me open up this picture, this drawing, this illustration that I made a few streams ago, to illustrate like the effect we wanted to achieve with the bamboo. So we wanted to make it have a rounded appearance. We did this using a texture, so I defined a sort of radial gradient and we hoped that it would look good. In game, once we saw the texture, so we can open it up here. In game, once we saw the texture, there appeared to be some artifacts, especially on the edges where like the faces of the column or the girder meet. And just the other night when I was about to fall asleep, I thought, hey, I paid my bills. So this is Dutch. PR asked, did you pay your bills? Because the power was cut. I did. It was the same joke I made to my neighbors yesterday, so maybe I should have paid my bills. But they cut the power, whatever. These things happen. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so we tried to make these bamboo sticks look rounded using a texture. But that leads to artifacts, ambient occlusion gets messed up, and it isn't as round as it could be, and you get this weird, like let me pixel zoom here, you get this weird artifacty line where the faces meet. And also Pierre, remind me, we should talk again. It's been such a while and I didn't really have a good reply to the last message, but we should talk again. Don't call me right now because I'm streaming, but it's all good, hopefully everything is good in your place. Anyway, so I want to get rid of this artifacty line, and I also want to make the top face connect a bit more, and maybe we can even go as far as to smooth out the inner geometry of the stick, so that it also looks round. So the big overarching plan is that in addition to being able to define whether or not a column block is hollow, or it's got a hollow cap like this, and the girder as well, like this chimney, there should also be another property that says the geometry should be smooth. And then we can, instead of using textures, we can use the engine to smooth out the normals. So we don't have to do that in the texture anymore. And that will get rid of all of those artifacts, like those horizontal lines, or sorry, vertical lines that you see on this. And it will also allow us to smooth the inside of the stick as well. So I want to see what that looks like. If that works, or if it doesn't work, we'll move on, and I want to do the roofing tiles block next. So we already did the texture for that on an earlier stream, but in that we use the fake albedo, and this is not like the new style of texturing that we use without texture. And we should also use the round profile for the roofing tiles. So these use some sort of like a faceted look to them, but I want to make them round. Pierre says, I'm working from home, listening to music, and then I saw you were on. Yeah, this happens these weeks. I think I'll switch back to music. It's less distracting. It sounds like a good idea. I don't sound like music to your ears. That's hopefully a good thing, because otherwise this stream would be nothing but background noise. Anyway, have fun working. Have a nice weekend, PR. Hope to see you again soon sometime. And I hope everything is well in your place, your spot of the world. Anyway, that's the plan. So let me quit out of the game here, minimize Xcode for a bit. So the trick that we're gonna do is to define all these vertices to be smooth so that the engine can take care of it. Fake albino. Fake albino? What? Albedo, it's albedo. A-L-B-E-D-E-O, albedo. But it's good, albino sounds good too. It's fake white because it's not actually white. Good luck, thank you. Right, so suppose this is the outside geometry of the column block. What we want to do, so the current engine does two styles of vertex normals, face normals. So we've got face normals defined for this block, so they are pointing outwards like this. If you open up any 3D package and enable normal display so that you can see the face normals, you will see that these faces would be pointing outwards, which leads to a very sharp and delineated look to it. What we instead want to do is to use per vertex normals for this, to make them smooth. So this one is, this vertex is pointing outwards this way, this one is to the top and away from us, this one is to the top and to the side, this one is actually going right at us. And then these vertices would be pointing like outwards to the bottom, like this. And then the OpenGL shading, like the actual shading that's done by the graphics card, will interpolate these values. So you will actually get a sort of smoothed look to this. But it will also be smoothed in this direction, sort of, so like this. And then the top face will also have a sort of smoothed look to it. This is the same trick that the shaped blocks, the smooth blocks in the engine already use. So instead of having a cubic block that's aligned to the grid, we now have a rotated, cubic, elongated block that will be smoothed as well. So that's the first thing that we'll take a look at, like what does it look like? Does it work the way we intend it to look? And it's something that we can test really or rather easily. So let's open up the column block mesher. The mesh and the fascia. And we have to pick a block that is not currently textured. So we have to take a column block that's not textured, because otherwise the texture will interfere. Poison barrel is as good as any. The poison barrel should be rounded as well. And it's got this nice metallic flavor to it. So what's not to like? Okay, the color is a bit dark, so that's not to like. Cinder blocks column. Boom. Put it right next to it. Yeah, so here's the idea. You can see that all of the faces have got distinct colors here. So we've got the side that is facing the sun, away from the sun, and this one is like halfway in the sun, and this one's totally away from the sun, and we've got the top face. They're all very sharply delineated. And what we're now gonna do is to smooth out these vertices, these normals, and see what it looks like. And it should sort of get the same vibe that we have with the shaped blocks. So let me place a shaped frozen dirt, smoke, gravel, rock. Where are the shaped metals? So I don't really know how this game works. Oh, here are shaped metals. So let's get a shaped steel right next to the column. See, it's got this very smooth edge and feel to it. You can still see that it's got different faces to it, but it's much rounder, and you can see that the sun is also reflecting over a much broader area. So that's the effect that we're going for. And let's place some plaster next to this one. It's a bit blown out. Gray plaster. Here we go. Let's remove this junk because we already decided that this works. Boop. Again, smooth the normals, and let's see what happens. So we're gonna enable it for all of the column blocks now. And I think I know how it works, but I haven't really tested this. So it's an interactive journey for everyone here. We can all learn something. So we need to find the code that creates the vertices, and we can probably find it using model vertex, because that's what we create. Model create get or create side vertex. That sounds exactly what we want. So let's go into that function. We create a model vertex extended. We reverse setup vertex position. Okay, that's good. So I think setup vertex position gets called for all vertices, even for the top faces and the side faces. Yeah, create vertical vertex or get or create side vertex. Yeah, so we do call setup vertex everywhere. Setup vertex position. And we'll just cheat it a little bit. So enable smoothing. Sounds good. And we get a vertex.model vertex normal is AD normal vertex, normal smoother inside or outside. Let's call this outside because things should be pointing outside. And maybe this is already enough. Maybe it already works. But I haven't tried this code, and I haven't been in this code base like super regularly lately, so let's see what happens. Oh, it felt like Xcode was crashing there. Luckily you didn't.
No time to waste, let's go.
Okay, it already works. So the face distinction, like the distinction between the faces is gone now. The edge of the column is much smoother. And even like here on the steel, you can definitely see that it's got this very nice pointy highlight to it. On the top face you can see that it's sort of like circular. One thing I've always wondered about is like, why does it look like this? Why does the top look like this? It's probably because the skybox gets darker near the top. And then on the sides it's... so we've got crude geometry and we've got like smoothed normal. So there will be some disconnect between what you see and what you expect. But the question is, does it feel like a rounded bamboo stick? So I think already the inside of the block is also similarly smoothed. It's definitely a smoother line inside. The girder blocks are still the old ones. Do we like the look? That's now the big question. Do we like the look? Or is it a bit weird? Admittedly, it looks a bit weird because you get this sort of like dome shape on top, even though the geometry itself is not dome shaped. Hello, Fiery. Hello, get out. But stay in. Get out, don't get out. Is it good? It's a different style. It's a different style. Here we have the brick chimney. So to be quite honest, I think I like the old style better. Even though we had the artifact on the edge, I think the old style had more subtlety to it. And it looked a bit more, whatchamacallit, it was a bit more there. I'm not sure if it's more realistic, but it was more there. This feels a bit abstract, like seeing the sun reflect in that steel pipe is a bit weird. It's just a bit weird. I like the subtle light transitions on this cinder blocks column. It looks a bit out of place, like it's not there anymore. So let's revert to change. I just Apple C here. Undo, undo, undo.
Oh, no time
It was a
to
good
waste,
idea, but I don't think, like, this looks way better, way cleaner. So yeah, so what? So what that the pipe is square shaped? It's cartoony, come on. Same with the cinder blocks. It's cartoony. Let's keep it like this. And that 1 pixel artifact, let's see if we can, like, is it there at low detail level? Yeah, it's there at low detail. Is it there at ultra detail level? All of the details. Still there. Alright, alright. Let's go back to normal here. It's not on this chimney, so it's definitely an artifact of the rounded shape that we have. So maybe we can find a way to reduce that artifacting. And then we also apply it to the regular bamboo block if we need to update our profile for a rounded block. I think I'm a fan of that. So let's see if we can make a improved displacement map for the stick then. So forget about the idea. The idea was good, of like smoothing out the vertices, the vertex normals. Idea was good, but it doesn't look nicer in practice. It looks a bit weird, and I don't want weird. I want nice. So I made a new folder in my documents for stream ID illustrations, and we can just move this one over there. It goes into the archive. Like these are the pictures from last stream where we created the hollow caps. Get out, not sure if you saw this on the last stream,
Oh, no time to waste,
but
let's
we
go.
made a new property for the columns and for the girders that says, hey, they have a hollow cap. So like this, so the bamboo stick is now an actual hollow stick instead of faking it with a texture like this. Like this is a fake chimney and this is a real chimney. Now I'm not a chimney expert, but I can definitely tell you that the right one looks way more chimney-ish than the left one. And same with the ambient occlusion, if it's in the dark, if it's in the shadow. See, it looks like there's actually some depth to the bamboo stick. So That's a good improvement. Now, this stream I wanted to make it more rounded, but that doesn't look good by just faking it in the engine. Now my next task is to get rid of this weird vertical line that's on the bamboo stick. See if we can make it go away, basically. Maybe we can make it get out. And I need to do some Googling here. Because I think it's called a Hilbert curve or something. So, circle approximation function, second derivative. Second application of derivatives, okay. Because there is a function that has got a smooth second or first derivative, but that looks like a circle. But I forgot what it was called. First derivative, or maybe let's just not specify a derivative. Approximation by smooth functions. Sounds good? Sounds good? This is a book. Alright. Hilbert curve, does that add something? It's a continuous fractal filling curve. Okay, that's not the one that we want. So let's remove Hilbert curve here. Maybe we can have a sine approximation function. Derivative of the sine. And also let's open up our file to see what the problem is that we're looking at. PBR, blocks, bamboo, bamboo stick displacement. Because if we fix this once, it's fixed everywhere. This is our approximation of a circular bamboo stick displacement. And it looks pretty good in Pixplant, but the problem is that here on the edges, on the sides, we get this weird artifact. And that's the thing that we want to solve here. Does Google know better? Smooth derivative circle. What is a smooth curve? Okay. Oh, here we go. I think we can maybe use a different term for this. Let's go back to DuckDuck, because that's my homeboy. Smooth interpolation function derivative. I think it was an interpolation function. Smooth curve. How to make smooth spline cylinder only at blah blah blah. So basically what you have, smooth interpolation function, we've got linear, and you have a sine. Because it was an interpolation function that smoothed it out near the end. And it had no... Like the derivative was smooth as well, because I think sine is broken. Okay. Maybe just look up interpolation functions. Give me some good ones. I do not understand how Google works anymore. I'm using DuckDuckGo because Google is only ads. An overview. I like it. Abstract, blah blah blah, models, adjustments, solutions. Can we have something more related to game development? Game development interpolation function. Logarithmic. So this is doing a bit of research. We want to see if we can find something that doesn't have artifacts. Blah blah blah. Otherwise we'll just have to do the math ourselves, but I read somewhere about this. The main advantage is to reuse the basic linear for is non-linear. Smooth step is a common use function for this. The smooth step function with its first and second. Okay, I saw the term smooth step mentioned somewhere already. Smooth interpolation. Other curves, fast start, fast end for cosine. It sounds awesome, this, but it's not what we want to use. Do we give up? Do we give up already? So I can't find anything. I can't find the curve or the function that I wanted to find, but with this simple search. So let's open it up in Pixplant and see where the problem stems from. So let's open up the bamboo stick. Bamboo stick. Displacement. And we do 1 by 1 UVs. You can do it, come on. This is the general impression that Pixplant has of our thing. And you can sort of see the problem here. If we disable displacement like this. It's not that visually apparent here, but it is in our engine. So what do we do? What do we do? Is it better if we only use vertical tiling? Because if we use both, you can see 1 pixel here coming in clutch. If you only do horizontal tiling, you can see this weird pixel line pop up. So maybe that is our problem. If we use only vertical tiling, and what happens if we do no tiling? That might even be better. So do we just update the normal map? Scale normals to 100% for this texture to be round. Rounder. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We also want to smooth it out. Oh, and by smoothing it, the edges already become weirder. But it's worse if we do both here. A normal scale will also exaggerate this. One more time. Open up the displacement. Get Out says, this is the first time I see such words. Interpolation, approximation. Yeah, but like the idea is that there is a function that has got no discontinuities in it. So if you wrap it around, so the thing that we're doing here, so tiling it, the first and second order derivative would be smooth. And I thought that maybe that was the problem, but it looks like maybe the problem is in the tiling, and if we disable tiling, maybe it looks better. So maybe we don't smooth the normal here, we do scale it though. Yeah, but this looks a bit artifacty, so we get this weird scan line jazz in here, and that's probably because we're lacking resolution. So can we save this as a 16-bit TIFF file or so? Save as. Can we save it as a TIFF? No. So save a copy. Can we save it as a TIFF? No. Can we export as a TIFF? Export. Boom. Format. TIFF. And can we select 16-bit? Grayscale, CMYK, art optimized, super sampling, hinted. Nope. Export. Is any of these file formats 16-bit? I don't think so. Can we import the Illustrator file directly so it knows it has a bit more detail in the gradient? Discard everything. Open up the Illustrator file. It's this, nope. This, nope. This one. Could not load the file. That's a very clear error message. Are we stuck now? No, well, not stuck, but do we just accept that we get that bit of artifacting going on? Because this is what our current map looks like. If you take a look at this thing, they look round, but yeah, now you can clearly see, especially since we have displacement enabled, you can clearly see that there's a bit of a problem on the edge, and it's totally understandable. It's totally understandable. Does it get smaller if we select vertical tiling only? It doesn't make a huge difference. Is this then because of like lack of definition in the edge points? Is that something that we need to figure out? Like we use this, documents, artwork production, reference files, circular displacement. We made this file and we did a few samples along the circle. So did we, like, do we have to add another point in between here just to smooth things out? We can then drag this one all the way over. Gradient. So we already have a lot of points, control points, but we can add more if we want to be really detailed here. So this is a 1.56. Groovy says, no clue how I got here or who you are, but never quit and have an awesome day. Groovy, baby. I also have no idea how you got here or who I am, but I'm glad we have to figure this out. Like, the both of us. But Groovy, I'm glad you're here. Have a nice weekend. Maybe I'll see you around. I have no idea who you are or what you do. Thank you, dear sir. Or madam. 45 pixels. So do we add another stop in between then? Like right in between there. And then say this is at 45. 45, 45 for that. And then we also add one here at 99 to 5 or so. And also say 45, 45, 45. Is this better? Do you like it? Do you want it? I don't see that much of a difference, but hey, who knows? Who knows? Let's update our thing. Background, circular displacement. This one. I'm trying to paste a thing. Okay, here we go. And we can probably just replace this one. 2 to 4, 480. Center it. Boom. Huge difference. Huge difference. I actually don't see a difference. Why am I getting these weird messages? Did I do something wrong? Is there something wrong? Hey, but we added more detail. What's not to like? Normal. Smooth it out. Scale it up. Is the problem smaller? I have literally no clue. but let's run with it. Yeah, that's the normal. We can extract the ambient occlusion map here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save this one as the bamboo stick ambient occlusion. Yep. Now then we'll just assume that this is correct. Yeah, that's the easiest way out. Assume that it's correct, and then we save a new ambient occlusion file. Bam. Beam. Save our new texture, convert it for the engine. Let me open up a window here. Documents, Angeldust. No. Nope. Artwork, textures, PBR, game world. See, those are TIFF files. It works.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Did the problem get smaller? I feel that the line is thinner. But maybe it's just my imagination. Like honestly, I'm not bothered by it anymore. This is just a very thin line. I can live with this. I can live with this. Let's remove this one, that one. I can live with it. Let's run with this for this moment, because bamboo is never perfectly round either way. Here we go with the justification. Bamboo is never round anyway, so let's not worry about it. I do want to make sure that we have a perfectly aligned stop here. So this is not the way I usually use Illustrator, but you can see it's a little bit offset here. So we need to figure out what the exact stop value is there. So we started at 50, divided by 2 is 25, 12.5, 625, 321. This is our stop before, 15625, and this one should be at 0.78. So it's a little bit offset here. I want to make it mathematically perfect. And then we have to go to plus 100 on the other side. It's 99.2122, 99.22. I can live with a little bit of rounding. 99.2. There we go. It's just slightly more accurate. Save it, and then we use it for the displacement. So one more time, we have to update the displacement. Here we go. Remove this one, boop, paste in a new one, to the 480 in the center of our artboard. Like if we can be mathematically correct, we will be mathematically correct. We overwrite the file, create our new pixplant stuff. There we go, normal, smooth it out, scale it up. Oh, we did use vertical tiling, so that might have reduced the artifacting just a wee bit. So let's make a note of that in our file. Scale normals for this texture to be round, okay. We need to make this node stand out. So we have one blue node, there we go. And we make another red node, use vertical tiling in pixplant to reduce corner artifacts. Two nodes so that we know how to use this texture in the future. Tiling vertical, okay. So we need to be on the lookout for this stuff because we will mess up and then it will look horrible. Ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already made a mistake. I overwrote the wrong file for the ambient occlusion just a few moments ago. So let's open up this one, set tiling back to both, and then we extract ambient occlusion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to make sure that our files are intact later on. Bamboo stick additional PBR AO. Yeah, there we go. Mistake. This can happen. So the ambient occlusion that we just saw was incorrect, but our problems are not with the ambient occlusion. It's more with the normals. Boom. Fire it up.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
And again, I think it's due to the only vertical tiling that the artifacts are a lot less, much better. One thing I'm still wondering about is, do we make the edge between the blocks thinner? I think it looks perfectly serviceable as a bamboo, so let's take a look at Neferspi.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Teleport to wonder number 4. And we want to be in the sunlight slightly. Okay, there's not a lot of sunlight falling onto this bamboo. There is sunlight falling onto the bricks though, and they look good. I'm happy with the bamboo. Happy with the bamboo. Don't worry about it. Let's run with it. Now, since we are updating the gradient profile, maybe we now also want to update the bamboo block itself, because we used that circle in there and this has just got a tiny bit more definition in it. It might make a difference in a normal map. So let's not leave that on the table. In fact, how about we use a different system for this altogether, where we just update everything at once? If we make one circular displacement file, like the one we have here, and if we use that circle as well, if we move this out of the way, like this, and if we just scale this one up to the size of the canvas, we wouldn't have to, like, we save it. This is properly aligned, right? 1000, 1000, 500, yeah, this is probably aligned. Properly aligned. If I just save this file, and if we place it instead of copying it, then we would never have to update our files again. So we just remove this and we say place the circular displacement file. Then we have a single point of truth, which is always a good thing. We use it like this, boom. And if we update the circular displacement file, the one that we just opened up, this will be updated as well. So we can now use the circular displacement everywhere. And if we make tweaks to the gradient, and if we, for instance, replace the function with something that is more continuous, it's updated everywhere for free. This is always a good idea. So now one thing we need to make sure is that we didn't change the file itself. So let's save a copy of this just to check. Weird file name too, but we need to make sure that these files are the same. They look the same pretty much, but we can even use the magic of Photoshop, TM, to overlay them. So let's copy this one over that one, and then we set this to difference. And then if all goes well, this should be an entirely black image. So let's see if we can open up a histogram here. Histogram. There seems to be 1 pixel difference somewhere. See? We merge it. merge it. And then we'll use the levels feature. See, there's a slight difference over on that 1 pixel thing. Are we bothered by this? There's a 1... I'm not bothered by it. It's all good. A 1 pixel difference, that's like 1 pixel value difference. It won't cost me any sleep. Does mean that I want to make sure that we use the most recent version of the file though, so. This is just because I want to be super meticulous, smooth, scale at 100%, tile only vertical, save it. And then we can move on to the roofing tiles, which will also use the round thing. We can reuse this trick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save the ambient occlusion one more time. And now you might be saying, hey Firefly, this is a lot of work. And I'm saying, yeah, you're absolutely right, it's a lot of work. But we are not only drawing the textures here, we are also drawing or drafting a way forward in the engine. So in all, it's a lot of pioneering and exploratory work. And that can just happen. Sometimes you just run into problems or you have to fix problems or like improve your process. So here we've got this sticks layer. So if we remove the ends, these are all the sticks. And these are copies of that same circular displacement thing, but they are not copies at the moment. These are they are copied and they are not tied to the original anymore. So let's place the original. Artwork production, reference files, circular displacement. So we're placing this file, and I think these are 96 pixels wide, 480 tall. Yeah, that looks about right. So we now replace it with the one single truth, the one single circular displacement file, and once that gets updated, everything gets updated. So we use this one on the left here. And then we just copy it 5 times. And here's the genius of the entire setup. And this is why I kind of like tend to use Illustrator. People might say like, hey, Illustrator, it's not the best program for doing things. Microsoft Word is much better. But suppose I'm going to update this map. Let's add a layer. And I'm going to draw a nice red line here, which isn't red because of reasons unknown to me. But wow, it's purple now. We've got a purple line on this. If I save this and move back to this file, it says, hey, the file has been updated. Do you want to update it? Yes, boom. So if we make tweaks to the circular displacement, we get it for free in all of the other files now. So that's the thing. But now, how do we get back to the original version? Like this. And yeah, it will notice that the file has changed. Yeah, there we go, boom. So we save this, and just for completeness sake, we also update the bamboo one more time. Yeah, I want to replace the original previous version because we have now tweaked the gradient a little bit. Close all of the files, don't save, open bamboo base displacement. Make sure we're tiling in both directions. And for this one, we only smooth it. We don't have to set it to 100% because this is already pretty round, if you ask me, pretty rounded. Save the normal for that. Bamboo variations, bamboo PBR normal. Extract ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save the bamboo ambient occlusion. Save the material map. Boom, boom, boom. Export it and make sure that everything still looks correct. And then we can move on to the roofing tiles. We're going to use the same process there. And now it's going to be easy to add any rounded elements to any texture. Because we've saved it in that reference file and we can just reuse it everywhere. Okay, they still look rounded. I'm not exactly sure if we made a big difference by doing that trick that we just did, but they still look rounded. I think the ambient occlusion backside, yeah, still looks good. The stick is still good. The inside of the stick is good, even in the shadow. Alright, we're ready to go to move on to the roofing tiles. Now remember, the roofing tiles currently have this albedo trick in there. It's not albino, but albedo. And we want to make them look consistent with the rest. So we're going to get rid of the background in between the tiles. We're going to make the tiles rounded. Maybe add a bit of layering, a bit of depth to the tiles. And see what we end up with. It's gonna be spectacular. I hope. I hope. We can close all of the bamboo stuff. We're done with that. We can even minimize Xcode for a while. We don't have to. And now we move on to the roofing tiles. So, roofing tiles. And maybe we can, if we've got a lot of time left, maybe we can even move on to the reed roofing. Because I think the reed roofing is very interesting in its layout. Let's already take a quick sneak peek at what we're going to do next. So not next, but next. Reed roofing is interesting because it's got a lot of reeds, and reeds are just like bamboo. They're very tiny sticks which are rounded. I mean, reed or hay is only like rounded airs that are standing. Is air a word like A-R-E? Doesn't really matter. But I think we can make a very visually interesting pattern out of this. We just make a lot of circular things, and then the normal map is going to look insane. I want to archive this version because it's a pretty good version, so let's call this 2212 albedo hacked. We copy all of these files over. Because it's not bad, but it's not good either. So let's see if we can make it better. Open up the displacement. There you go. It was a good idea. It was a good idea while it lasted. But we're just now going to make a new one. 480, 480. Pretty grady. And then we start off by placing... How do we start off? Yeah, I think we place those circular displacement things. Live streaming, no, artwork production, PBR, reference files, circular displacement. We start opening this, and it's going to be 160 by 160, so that's 1/3 of the canvas. And we copy it 9 times. So here's the genius of the entire plan. If we ever update the circular thing, we get it for free here. Boom. Okay, now it looks like 3 bamboo things, but we're going to add a bit of pizzazz to this. Again, we're going to make them angle slightly upwards towards the bottom, so that it looks like they are overlapping with each other. And the way that we do it is just by selecting all of them. No, that's not how we do it. This is the circular displacement. We make a new layer on top of this. And we call this slanted effect. So we're going to try and make them look slanted. 160, 160. We're going to use regular rectangles for this. Other way around, no stroke. But it can be filled. Let's use blue or whatever. Yep, here we go. And again, we make 9 of them. Looking good. We select all of them, and then we use the gradient, linear, and we rotate it 90 degrees like this. Because if you imagine roofing tiles, they are laying on top of each other like this. So we have to do it the other way around. Again. So the top part, they are laying like this. So the top part of each tile is higher than the one above it. it's like this, like in layers. So we now set this transparency to being to multiply. All right, it's very extreme. It's very extreme, this effect, but we can take a look at what this looks like in Pixplant. So these are 9 roofing tiles. Again, very mathematically correct, and they are very sharp and rounded, but we have to start somewhere. So let's save this as roofing tiles displacement. Yes, that's the correct file name. And then we save it out. Roofing tiles displacement, replace the file, and see what it looks like in Pixplant. Maybe we have too much detail in here, maybe it's already perfect. It's an iterative process, as always. Okay, here we go. So you can see the slanting on the roofing tiles. It might be a bit too extreme, like they are very, very slanted like this. On the other hand, maybe that's just what it is. It doesn't look like an extreme of a slant, and also the side profile, the circular shape itself, looks pretty serviceable, looks pretty workable. So maybe we tone down the vertical slant a little bit, and maybe then we're already good. Because this is just the vertical slant is a bit too much. So let's see if we can decrease the gradient effect. So instead of using the full value of 0, let's maybe go with 1 to 7, like halfway there. And then we still keep the rounded shape of the tiles, but we do reduce the slant slightly. Close all, displacement, open it up, just like that. Okay, so the side profile is still pretty extreme. The slant is a lot less though. What does it look like if we disable the displacement? Then we end up with roofing tiles, sort of. Sort of. Okay, so maybe this is our texture. Let's just run with it. Save the normals in the roofing tiles. Variations, normal. And then we extract the ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there is something to be said to offsetting the texture slightly to make this line go all the way to the top. But one step at a time. This is PBR AO, boom. The upside of this approach is that we don't have to have the in-between areas anymore, so we can just remove this entire layer and then we just keep the roofing tiles fully glossy, because that was a problem earlier. Here we go. It looks more rigid, just like many of the files that we did. It looks more rigid, but this is the style that we want to try first. Oh, you saw an update here. Big change. Oh yeah, one thing that we should probably still add is a bit of roundedness to the shape itself. So that's something that we don't have. That's why it's looking entirely square now.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Something tells me that there's a problem. Oh yeah, there's an albedo file, the old albedo, that we don't want to use anymore. So we can create a white file, white noise, just like that, to replace the albedo. Replace, yep. And then Texture Packer will, if all goes well, will take care of, yeah, replacing it with a different texture, because it's already there, a white, fully white albedo. A future improvement might be to update our shader to not even have albedo shading, because many of these materials don't even use the albedo channel anymore. Albedo is color, like the base color of the material. Updating the sheet. Okay, here we go.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Alright, alright. One thing to note is that the blocks get flipped. every line. So the extreme angling effect that we have makes it so that some of the tiles now appear to be upside down, literally, and that really messes with the coloring, as you can see. Like these tiles, they are correctly oriented, and these other ones are like the other way around. They are angled inwards, sort of. And that makes a huge difference in where the shadow appears to be and where the sun appears to be. So I think the correctly angled ones look very sharp. They look very much like the style that we're shooting for, and they're glossy. It's a nice effect, but it's a bit weird because like you get this shadow line on these tiles, and then the ones above and below them don't have that shadow line because the sun is angled differently. It looks like my roof got a manicure. Yeah, it is. But they are very super correctly rendered. But I do love this effect. Check it out. I do love the way that this looks, like the glossiness of it, and the look of it, the smell of it, the texture. It's just so good. But I can imagine that the roof might look a bit weird now because we've got this very extreme slanting going on and it's in the wrong direction. So maybe we want to remove some of the mirroring going on these blocks. It's a patch we can add later on. And they also mirror horizontally here, so see, like every other, it looks more like solar cells than like roofing tiles at the moment. Because this roof is angled differently. But the base texture holds. I remain convinced that the base texture holds. From a distance, and these are oriented correctly at least, from a distance you can definitely still tell that these are roofing tiles. They never went anywhere, they are still here. Also they get vertically elongated here because they are on the diagonal of the block. So even though our texture itself looks very squarish, we've got 3x3 squares, when they are rendered in this block orientation you get a much more angular look to them and much more rectangular instead of square. But the overall lighting effect, of course, oh whoops, fell down. Overall lighting effect is still pretty much in place. I do have a patch ready somewhere for removing the mirroring on this, and maybe we just remove the mirroring on a lot of them. Solar cells, more happy accidents. Hey Crunchy, glad to see you're here. Crunchy, if you have to go, like your power went out last time. My power was out yesterday, so I couldn't even stream. It was just too bad. But have a nice weekend, everyone. Get out, and Crunchy, if I don't see you until the end of the stream. Also, maybe you've already noticed, but I have the lights on in the back, and it was dark outside. It was foggy, it was dark, and I didn't feel like having the sunlight, the absence of sunlight fall in. You did notice. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. So let's see what this looks like in Eclipsy, because we've got the courtyard.
Underway, so let's go.
Due to our opinionated take on making them slanted, the effect might not be perfect. And especially here on the bottom side, we get a lot of glossiness now. So yeah, what we're gonna do next is to taper off the bottoms or the sides of these blocks a little bit to make them more in line with the other blocks. Other than that, this is just the way that they render. Maybe we should add a bit more detail to the reflection, the environmental reflection, so that it doesn't look too much out of place. Like, it looks weird, but you have to imagine that these tiles are now tapered or like, yeah, slanted the wrong way. There should be one side of this that looks absolutely gorgeous. Tell us, Firefly, which side looks absolutely gorgeous? Oh, it doesn't, because all of these are upside down. Okay, so we definitely want to introduce the patch here, I think, that removes the mirroring from it. Still though, they look like rounded roofing tiles, even the ones that are upside down. Pixel zoom here, so Even these, with sort of the weird effect going on, the weird coloring, they still feel like veneered roofing tiles. It looks perfect like tiles in a bath or a swimming pool. Yeah, that's the vibe that we're going for. No, seriously. So they are very shiny and glossy compared to the stones that are around it, like the bricks and the cinder blocks. But that's exactly the thing that we were shooting for here. Veneered. Let me look up the word. I have a dictionary here, supposedly. Like veneer is the stuff that you put on wood and on paintings to make it look shiny. But there's also another word, glazuur in Dutch, and I'm not sure if it's the same translation. We can learn something here. Glazing. Enamel, that, not animal, but enamel, it's on your teeth. Icing on the cake. So that's the idea. Yeah, it's glazing. Glazing is the word. So it's not veneer, it's glazing. And now I have to cram this dictionary back in. What happens if we take one of those blocks in our hands? I don't have one. I do have one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This looks so good. Check me with my glazed roofing tiles. Wow. And of course it's an exaggeration. It's exaggerated because everything is exaggerated. We are not doing like regular texturing anymore on this, but we do super cool physically based material rendering, and then we just make use of that. Like Obi summarized, there are no blocks anymore, but we now have bricks. Like everything just exists now. And I think that's the key takeaway. So let's see if we can round them off slightly, so that they are more in line with the other bricks. And I think then it's just another texture done, upgraded. So we have to tweak the displacement. We'll also tweak the material, but that's for later on. So how do we add rounded corners to this? Usually I use the inner glow, and we will probably be wanting to use the inner glow. So let's set up the inner glow. Rounding. It's going to be the same trick that we used with the slanting. So let's just copy over the slanting layer here. Boom. We set the transparency to normal like this. We remove the gradient, so it's fully white. And then we add a inner glow just to give shape to the blocks. Normal. I think we use something like 1, 2, 3 on some of the others. But maybe we want to make the effect more subtle on these. But also maybe let's just go with this first. And we didn't see it because I was not in preview mode. So how rounded are these? What's nice? 22, is this a good look? Or do we go with a sharper look? Maybe let's try this more sharper look. And then we also multiply this. So here's the entire displacement texture, and this is without the rounding. See, we definitely add a bit of tactility to it. I've got a good feeling about this, just as the man from Star Wars said. I have a good feeling about this. Close them all. Open it up. You can already tell just by the quality of the displacement map that things are going to look great. Yeah, they're nicely rounded. We do get a bit more of a whatchamacallit? Individual tile shape out of it. So maybe we reduce the slant just slightly more. Just slightly more. Also, this makes it totally apparent that we don't want to have the slanting on the bottom side. That's going to be our major differentiating factor here, because we have overlapping stuff. Our rounding should work in a different way. The crinkle look is cool. I know, it's going to be even better. Let's hide these layers for a moment. So we need to make these larger so that they overlap. Yeah, this is going to look amazing. So we make them... How tall do we make them? We're going to add amazingness to this. Let's go back to 16 pixels. So we make them taller. Now you might be wondering, Firefly, why are you doing this? Well, I will show you. Because now we move these over only 160 pixels, like this. Yeah, the idea is good. The idea is good. Now this is what it should look like, so that we don't have the displacement at the bottom rim. And then we place 2 more, and then we place these at 240 like this. 320 like this. And then you can see that we only that we get the overlapping effect. This is exactly what we wanted. But now we have to select the entire group, make sure that this is set to normal, and then we'll make the group use multiplication. There we go. Added. Yeah. And then we also reduce the slant just slightly. So let's move it up halfway as well. There we go. Can you see everything coming together? So it takes a bit of time to get everything right, but I believe that once we get it right, and once we enable or disable the mirroring in the engine later on, it's going to be absolutely great. Yeah. See? I think the slant is much more appropriate, and we now don't have that weird effect where the overlap is suddenly hidden. That's good. This is good. I think the slant can be slightly heavier. So instead of going with 1 to 7 or this, let's go with the in-between value of 160. 160. Because I feel that the slant is just too subtle now. Better. Will you stagger the rows like a zipper? No, that's not in the style of the original texture. I know what you mean, but this is just roofing tiles in rows or in columns, just overlapping each other. That's the vibe that we are shooting for here. I feel this is pretty good, but I also feel that the slant could just be slightly more exaggerated. So let's go for another in-between, 144. And this is just, we should probably look at it in the engine, because now I'm just tweaking things without knowing what I'm doing. But hey, that's me. Okay, good. Don't mess around with it. Tiling in both directions, smooth it out like this. Whoa, it looks so good. Save it as the normal map. Replace it. Extract ambient occlusion. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save it as the ambient occlusion. Boom, bam. We leave this one for now. I think it's good. So let's just open it up in the engine and see what we get out. The ambient occlusion is still very much very straight, very rigid. But let's take a look what we get. Google will steal all your creations. I hope not. But hey, we are streaming on YouTube, so maybe they are watching. And maybe they will be stealing.
No time to waste, let's go.
Okay. These are the roofing tiles. I like the gloss. I love the gloss, not gonna lie. I love the way that this looks. See, just, And the shapes and the composition should be very much in line with what we used for the other blocks. So, or should be, they are. And even on the back side of the blocks, like where we have the ambient occlusion come in, you can, like the right side of this, you can definitely feel that this is roofing tiles. Looking good. And in the distance, the roofs on the village look pretty good as well. So maybe we just open up... Oh, you can sort of see the layering there, I think. So let's open up a random wonder. Let's see where we end up.
Let's go.
Get off the dragon, go to the wonder. City of Runeterra. It's got a lot of roofs. Nice. Yeah, and due to the mirroring, we get this sort of unequal distribution on the roofing tiles. So definitely, I'm definitely going to advocate and try to make it work without mirroring. Because I think everyone deserves a very nice roof. Also, see the shadow of the trees fall onto this? It's a good effect. It's very cartoony, because I sort of decided that we are now going to derive our cartooniness out of the fact that everything is rounded and exaggerated material-wise. So I'm liking this. Take a look at all of the roofs. Hello all, hello Rain, how are you doing? Rain, we're working on the roofing tiles today, or at this exact moment. And we just made them super rounded and glossy, and check it out, it's pretty good. One more wonder. Salomon's Castle. Ooh, this probably also has roofing tiles. Yeah, the orange variety. Okay, so again, because these are slanted the other way, it looks a bit funky. But parts of it are cool. Now usually orange roofing tiles aren't as glossy. So maybe we tweak the glossiness of the orange roofing tiles a little bit. On the other hand, they finally have nice texture. We don't have the albedo fake effect anymore, and everything just stands on its own. I'm definitely a lover here. Count me in the loving camp. Because here, wow, some nice blue roofs with blue roofing tiles. This church building. Hey, what's up? It's nice, it's nice. Orange is cool at all? Yeah.
And now we found the loot and we're happy.
Now we found the roof and we're happy. Let's take a screenshot of this church. I think it might act as a thumbnail for next stream. Okay, it's good, it's good. It's consistent. We don't have the albedo trick anymore. And you can just gauge, get a feel for the material just by looking at it. It's so good. One more wonder. Aspatia, we are allowed to look around here, right? Yeah. Again, check out the glazing in the distance of that roof. It's just so good. Just the way that the materials have their different properties.
Been looking for this.
It's what we want to make use of, and it's the part that we're going to exaggerate for this remaster. Oh, we've got more streaming in here. We need rain stopped, now I'm happy. Oh, we need rain stopped, now I'm happy. Hey, the rain stopped, now I'm happy. It's only a bit misty, foggy outside. But we can live with that. Ooh, glossy tiles. Is this a door? It is a door. Ooh, glossy tiles. Is this a door? Nope. Is this a door? This is a door. One last wonder. 12 kingdoms. Ooh, we've got a lot of roofing tiles here. Oh, we've got the red ones. Ooh, the red ones. Okay, so these are angled incorrectly. Doesn't matter. The glossy effect on them and the ambient occlusion. Wow, 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 wow. I still like it. I still like it. I like it. Let's head into the 12 kingdoms over here. Roofing tiles on that building. Sharp. Cool. I want them. We've got the brick columns here as well. So check out this entire concoction made out of bricks and bricks. It's just like Obi summarized. Instead of blocks, you now have bricks. They are there. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's amazing, the roofing tiles. It's amazing. Maybe this can act as a screenshot for the next
Nothing
stream.
like that. New treasure
I get
smell.
immersed pretty easily, so when it rains in game, I prefer to go inside to not get a shiver on my back. Oh, that's good. Like you've got a very good suspension of disbelief. Then that's a good property to have. Getting immersed in media. The rain stopped. Okay, now what is the right time to make a screenshot? This is the right time to make a screenshot. It looks absolutely amazing. Now part of me wants to go and visit all of the wonders, because here's a roof of made out of purple and blue roofing tiles, and it's still amazing as ever. And we didn't have to use any albedo fake tricks. It's just... Is there a green roof? I don't think so. We do have green marble, so there are different materials for different colors. That's sort of the gimmick of the game. Not every material is available in every color. Oh, this roof, it's... Wow. Everything just feels so good. Which, coincidentally, is what I just said. Okay, so let's not get sidetracked. One more wonder, and then we move over to making the reed roofing. I think the reed roofing is going to look amazing. Okay, water texture, definitely still one that we still need to address. And I don't think that this build uses many roofing tiles. How about that? Sorry about that. No roofing tiles, no roofing tiles. Statue is not made out of roofing tiles. We do get the awesome grass though.
Nothing like that. New treasure smell.
No roofing tiles, no problem. We'll just move on onto the reed roofing. Whoa, just this subtle detail. This subtle detail here on the grass. See? Those wet spots, sort of, where the grass is highlighting and where the sun is being reflected. I hope you can see this for the viewers at home. There's a big mouse cursor on my screen now, but hopefully it doesn't show up on yours. That's just such a lovely detail. Crunchy adds, I got my first paycheck today. Now I can fill my car's gas tank, 20 gallons at 4.28 per gallon. I don't use freedom units. I do know that the price of gas here in the Netherlands has slightly lowered over the past few days. So instead of being like bamboozled and scammed for a lot, we now get scammed for a bit less, but it's still not great. Gas is still very expensive here. And there were even times where the diesel, which historically has always been cheaper than plain gas, or what's the other word? Yeah, gas or like benzine. But the diesel was now more expensive as well. It's just totally insane. Yeah, no roofing tiles. Anyway, let's try and see if we can get the reed roofing to look very good. Because I want to make one more texture or so. And maybe we can update wooden planks, but that's going to be pain. Plaster is something we also need to improve, and timber framing along with it. Which would require wooden planks. Metal, of course. Like a lot of these, bamboo is good. Bricks is good. Cinder blocks we still need to do the columns, which is a nice thing for the future. Cobble we need to redo. Facing bricks we need to redo. Grass I'm happy with. Lantern block we need to redo. Marble redo. Metal redo. Plaster redo. Timber framing redo. Tree bark, wooden planks. So we've got plenty of work ahead of us. We could start redoing textures, just like we did with roofing tiles, but maybe we just redo one every live stream and then make a new one as well, because I really want to see what we can do with the reed roofing. The more different materials we try out, the better everything will start to come together. So let's move on to reed roofing, and we make a folder reed roofing variations, because I think we can do an amazing trick with this, or amazing job of this. So let's try and do it. Like maybe I won't stream like super long today. I've got plenty of other things that I could do, like vacuuming the house and stuff like that. But it's we're not done. We're not done just yet. So unfortunately the patch of like making the columns more rounded, we didn't do that. Okay, reed roofing. How good is everyone's counting skills? How many reed roofs are there on each side? Maybe we just start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 reeds on that side. And how many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. And then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. We've already got all of our work laid out for us. We're making a file like this. Then we are placing our reference file, the circular displacement, because the reeds are going to be circular. Now, there are supposedly 16 reeds in total. And I can show you, but my math is usually correct. 480 divided by 16 is 30 wide for the reeds. And then they will be 480 to 40 tall, like this. And then we just align this one here. So all of our reeds are just going to be the same dimension, and we are going to reuse the frame for it. So these are 4 reeds and then 8, like this. So this is going to be the circular displacement again. We might have to add a background below this, but we just group this, copy it, paste it, then we rotate it 90 degrees like this, boom. And then we move it like that. Then we move one over here, boom. Yep, and then we move this one over there. Boom. Hey, texture done. Except, hold on to your horses. See, it's a very stylized interpretation of what we had before. This is the old version, this is the new version. Again, we work mathematically correct, sort of. And we just do it like this. Then the question becomes, how does this even work? Is the idea that things are slanted inwards slightly, or are these are sort of patches of reed? Do we want to add directionality to the texture at all? What does reed roofing look like in real life? So not to steal a texture, but to get a feel for the dimensionality. Reed roofing. Images. None of this is real. Thatched. Okay, here we go. Thatched roofing. Nice. This is exactly what we want. But now we want to have a close-up. Close-up. Like this. There is a sort of layering to this. It's bundles of reed overlapping each other. But we do want to keep the vibe of the original alive, sort of. Because we don't want to go with 2 layers of like vertical patches. We do want to have horizontal patches in there as well. So then my question is, do we make these taper outwards? Or do we just like not add any layering to this? These are all good questions. Crunchy, are you familiar with these kinds of roofs? You're very knowledgeable about everything. So, I mean, here you can see a layering in the reeds, which is a nice effect. But I think if we add it to the engine, if we add it to the game, it goes against the grain of the texture that we have currently in the game. So do we start simply? Do we just start by using this texture, seeing what it looks like? We're going to start using this texture, seeing what it looks like. Read roofing PBR. Displacement. First file. Export it. Read roofing. Throw it into Plixplant. Because we cool like that. Use what you have. There we go. These look like... It's a cool effect. It's a cool effect, not gonna lie. But these look like sound panels. Like soundproofing in your room. I think the displacement is a bit too harsh. Like it's a bit too exaggerated here. Instead of having rounded reeds, we have spikes. So we have to scale this down a little bit. So let's make a new layer, which is going to be the background. BG for short. So we add a background and then we just make the circular things slightly transparent. So I think we can go to 25% transparency like this, and we still wouldn't lose too much in our circularity. I just made up a new word, circularity. Okay, they are, like looking at the side profile here, they are definitely rounder. Can be a bit more round though. Can be slightly rounder. So maybe 50%. Again, we could break with the existing tradition of, okay, this is too sharp. We could totally go with a very different texture style. Would giving it a weave pattern be too difficult? A weave pattern sounds very difficult, but the thing is we need to sort of stay close to what we have in the game currently. We can't just freestyle any kind of design. So let's just see what it looks like if we do it like this. This is very close to the original design. And I'm not exactly sure how we would add layering to this. It would be super cool to add layering because just like with the roofing tiles, it just adds so much. Okay, we smooth it out like this. Then we save it as the read roofing PBR normal. We extract a ambient occlusion map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, there's this slight bit of an offset to it. And maybe that holds for all of the blocks. Getting better, maybe reduced to 7, not 8. I understand what you're saying, yeah. So maybe you have less reeds in there. But here's what I'm going to do first. We're going to first try this version and then we can iterate on it. Because it's never going to be perfect first try. But then we have all of the files set up and we can just start improving. I like the way that we improved the roofing tiles. So read roofing PBR material base. Read roofing PBR material. I think this file is good. Yeah, it's just totally empty, which is always good. Material is going to have to be replaced with the read roofing base texture. Yep, that's good. And then we replace the bamboo ambient occlusion with our read roofing ambient occlusion. Everything's good. Save it. Export it. And then we also make a white albedo. You already know this. It's not albino, but albedo. Oops. It's so easy that I make a mistake. Albedo. Boom. Save it. Read roofing albedo. Bam. Close this one. Close this one. We will be working on this one. This one can be gone. Then we open Texture Packer and we add all of our texture variations to this sheet. Publish it. And we can already convert the texture, but now we have to add the definition. So far this texture was done very quickly, very quickly. We're definitely getting a hang of this, but we're not done yet. Materials, blocks, tapered materials, reed roofing, texture name, PBR style, reed roofing, PBR. Convert that, and let's go. Compiling some files, of course. Take your time, computer.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Right, here comes the test. Where is the reed roofing? It's this. Boom. 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 Okay. This is what we got. This is what we're getting. There are definitely ways we can improve on this. Especially if you consider the fact that this block is currently mirrored, and I'm not sure if it's going to remain mirrored, but at the moment, like, we get this square in the center that doesn't super look like reed roofing. So the first thing that I want to add is the slanting again, because it needs a bit of directionality to it. Why are the evergreens floating? Styrofoam roofing. Hey, this is a sound insulation panel roofing. Tinspin, why are the evergreens floating? What are the evergreens? Where are they? Tinspin, we did some coding on Wednesday. It would have been excellent for you. The trees, why are the trees floating? They're not floating. Or what? Like these, or these. There are stems below them. There is, if you get up close, see there is, but what? Like everything is untextured. Everything is untextured at the moment. So mostly things are untextured. We're now working on the reed roofing. We made Legos, soundproofing, and solar panels. Yeah. These are all of the materials that you recognize from Angeldust, the game. It looks like they are floating from side to side. Oh, they're swaying in the wind. They're swaying. It's the wind. See? The wind is touching them. They've got emotions. I get what you were saying, but hey, we're not paying attention to the trees today. Just don't look at this part of the screen. Just don't look at it. Like, hide it. Block it from view. Ignore it. You need to bend them. Haha. Yeah, so maybe you... Yeah. Don't knock it. Don't knock it. Hey, the same effect is on the grass blades, and the grass blades are stuck to the ground. Here, check this out. We have 3D silicon graphics grass blades. See, they are stuck to the ground, and they also sway in the wind. I understand what you're saying. Like, why are they floating? It's just an artifact. Lol, lol, aha, I see. Tape on the screen. Yeah. I will just remove half of the screen. I will just make... See, I will make the screen smaller so you don't see that portion. That doesn't work because it will scale up anyway. Anyway. Put that code on the trees, lol. Yeah, there's a trick to it. There's a trick to it. I can make it like what you want, but that's for a future version. Okay, so layering to this. How do we layer out this reed roofing? Also, should we apply the patch first so that it's not mirrored anymore? But then we can still get a feel for it though. So how about we say it's most natural if you take a look at what Spaces Green made in their texture, or maybe it's robotic. If you consider these to be patches of reed, like the top one should probably be angled from top to bottom. So the top is probably higher. So let's see if we can make something work here. So let's call this slanting. Slanting. Let's make it 240, 240 here. 240, 240. Don't give him no 240. Fixed. Ship it. Check out these pixels if you can. Star, star, star. I don't see any pixels. You just got ignored. I have no idea why. I can't check out the pixels. It's just 3 stars on my screen. You should enable URLs. You should just. All of these backseat developers. Angling will do the trick. I hope so, Crunchy. So let's see if we can add a bit of a slant to this. So we use RGB. Do we go with 64? Just a very subtle slant. And then we, instead of this being normal, we add, is it lighting, color burn, screen? It does get lighter. See, Felix lighter. So if we angle out from the side, I mean, I can live with that. I mean, one viewer stream with locked URLs, but how could YouTube click it? I have no idea. I have no idea. Do we angle everything out to the sides like this? Is this what we want? Hey, it's not about the viewers, it's about the... Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Like this? Is it what we want? Like having... It does add... Take a look at the small version. It does add a nice bit of layering to it. So let's see what that looks like. Export this displacement map. Because in my opinion, or in my experience, the nicer that the displacement map looks like, the more detail it has, the more detail and niceness that you have in the game. Okay, okay. Hey, see? Yeah. This definitely feels like we have something going on here. I'm get out for a moment. Don't worry about it. Get out. I'm not sure how to enable the URLs, but I can take a look at it later on. And then I'll probably get spam like I had just a few moments, like a few streams ago. It was all like, do you want to feel emotions? You go to this website and feel emotions. And I was like, okay, I'm good, thanks. But if I want to have more emotions, I will know where to find you. Okay, the ambient occlusion now also has some layering to it. So we're making progress. Making movies, making songs and fighting around the world. You know this stream, it's all about the quality content. Boom. New version. High quality soundproofing, indeed. You get the lower frequencies damped as well, because this is so good. Okay. Okay, so the main problem we have here is the same with the tiling on the other blocks and stuff. That there's just this weird line that gets in between. Especially when the normals just clash with each other just like that. But we do have more directionality to this. Like, those reeds, they already appear to have more depth to them. Which I like. What does it look like in the shadow? Again, a bit more layering, a bit more depth to it. I think that's entirely cool. Like, from a distance, you don't even notice it that much. It is starting to feel more like reed roofing, and I do like the fact that they are very thin reeds. See, it adds a lot of detail, especially from a distance. See the horizontal stripes, they are still there. And now we're at like sub-pixel resolution for the read, but it still has the overall texture to it, of like the bigger slant. It's good, it's good. Now we probably want to add a bit of that roundedness to it. It's very similar to what we did with the roofing tiles. M says, lol, when I post the URL on YouTube, the message is ignored completely. There you go. Top-notch streaming here. I forgot about it. And we can do the same trick here. We not only can, but we will do the same trick here. We are going to make the layering even more explicit. So this is the roundedness. Crunchy, you already know how we're gonna do this, right? It's going to be 30 wide, but instead of being 240 pixels tall, we're gonna make it 320 pixels tall, like this. See, so the read is longer. And then we add the stylize inner glow. And we have to use a very small, but we have to use a smaller version. So we're mostly looking at the top corner. The top corner should be rounded. So what does that look like? Maybe exaggerate it a little bit here. Like that. Hey, take a short break. Come back and look what you made just now. Let's see if you really like it. Each column could be uneven. Yeah. First I want to add this bit of detail. Like diving further into the pool of insanity here. No, this doesn't sound like a scam site at all, M. This doesn't sound like I'm being scammed at all. I know you are, but the URL, it just looks like I'm getting scammed. Something is not right here. These should be over, should move over one more pixel, 180. There you go. 180 is Grady. Scammed by a URL. Yeah, that's what that's the part that I'm not looking forward to. Getting scammed by a URL. Okay, here we go. Boom. That is read. Then, no. We copy the read. And then we rotate it. So is this going to be... What's the symmetry going to be? We don't know just yet. And then we move this one to the bottom left of the canvas, like this. Okay, so this is adding one more bit of layering, because you can now see that the reads end here, and they go under here. So we add one more, uno más, and we move this one to the right and to the bottom of the canvas. Yeah, like that. And then we add one more rotated version of it, and then we move it like this. Okay. And now we run into a problem, Mr. Asher. It is my domain. One moment. There we go. This is an image that Tinspin wants us to see. And these are pixels. This looks like a apple. This also looks like an apple. And we have thrones, and we have stairs and weapon racks. It looks a bit Zelda-ish, like a Legend of Zelda. Scammed by a URL. Yeah, we got scammed by a URL. I got scammed by a URL. I already have a solution for this. We create a clipping mask. There we go. Because I'm cool like that. You like it like that? I like it like that. put everything in a group once more, and then we multiply like this, and we have even more depth to it, especially on the edges of the texture. It looks nice. Are you making a Zelda top-down perspective thing? Game? I think you call it these days a game. What happened to the 3D engine? I stand to ask. What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. 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 It's a subtle difference, but the difference is still there, so let's run. I think the reeds are a bit more rounded now even.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Yeah, they've got slightly more contrast to them. I'm not hating this. Maybe the slanting can be exaggerated slightly more even, so that we have a bit more... Yeah, I think that makes for a very nice overall feel to the texture. So let's select the slanting. We should have gradients here, right? Yep. So let's add 50% more slant. Boom. Again, the displacement texture itself just looks very nicely detailed, so hopefully this leads to a very nicely detailed... Yeah, check this out. I know what you're gonna say, like, Firefly, it doesn't... But I'm gonna say, hold on to your horses. Let's see it in-game first. Don't be judging my texture that quickly. Save it. Because it's... We need a bit of exaggeration. Here, it was a very subtle difference here in this thing. Is my chat still working? Because I commented on your file, Tinspin, and now you're just gone? Or did you just...
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Is anyone still watching? It's good, the reed roofing. Let's take a look at a few builds in the world. And I can understand that you say like, hey, it's very rigid, it's very artificial. And you're absolutely right. But that's the idea of this style. I think the 12 Wonders had a reed roofing roof. Reed roofed, thatched roof. Over to this side. No water for you. Oh no, it's over this side. Boom. I think there was a hut with reed roofing. Could have been mistaken though. Each of the 8 cylinders are perpendicular. Could they be a tiny bit uneven like the original? They could be a tiny bit uneven, but the idea here is that we introduce the symmetry as a new design element to emulate pixel art. You can get a feel for the height in here, which is good. It also leads me to believe that we can make the slant just slightly stronger even, just to add a bit more flair to it. You're jumping the gun. GB says, Firefly, you could make paid tutorials on game development, step-by-step basic game projects or something like that. I would buy it. I could do that, yeah, but what I'm doing now is mostly the development that I'm doing anyway, so working on this remaster. I'm doing it anyway, and I'm just streaming it so that people can just join in, see what I'm doing, see how it works, and
Been looking for this.
that's sort of like the current trick. Crunchy, because I want to sort of emulate a pixel art look without using pixel art. And the way I'm doing it is by having these very exaggerated material properties, but also making all of the lines very rigid and straight, where appropriate. Like for instance, these bricks or so, and these reed roofings, like you can imagine them being absolutely straight, and that's cartoonish. And maybe you're right, like if more people say like, yeah, you should make things, and then, but it's a lot more work on one hand, and it also goes against the grain of the style, sorta. Okay, so I'm liking the basics of it. There's a few things that I don't like currently, which is that I want a bit more. Oh, it is a very detailed, and especially with the displacement mapping going on, it's a very detailed and very intricate texture already. But I want to tweak it slightly, so add a bit more slant still. Not go overboard, but just a wee bit. So let's go to 112, 112, 112, like this. And I sort of want to make the circularity stand out a bit more. So let's... Why do I feel like this is not the way to do it? Because that's not the way we have to do it. So let's maybe add 40, like this. Boom. And maybe that's already good enough. I just wanted to have a bit more contrast to it. Now we are limited in spatial resolution, so maybe lowering the number of reeds is the way to go, but I do like the overall feel of the original texture. So maybe this is too exaggerated, but we can see we are smoothing the normals anyway, so maybe this is perfect for in our game. He would need to delete the lady bots that pop up. Yeah, if I'm going to be doing those streams or streaming the game development, the lady bots, the emotion bots. Well, any mobile game company would pay gold for Firefly's well-made netcode. Indeed. Or is it sarcasm? The netcode is pretty good. The main comment that I get on it is from people saying, hey, there are no games that I can play on my school network or on my business network, and Angeldust still works. How do you do it? That's like the main feedback I get. So I think the netcode itself is very good. Like no joke even. It's not sarcastic, there you go. And it works on, the game itself works on very low-end devices. This remaster is going to require a bit better graphics card and a bit beefier CPU, but the game itself runs pretty much anywhere. So what is not to like? Let's go to the same reed roof. Of course, I'm chugging along here a bit because my laptop is slightly underpowered for streaming. Oh, the tiles, they are so good. Oh, let's not get sidetracked. But the tiles are so good. Yeah, I'm liking this more rigidy appearance now. There's depth to it, even in the ambient occlusion side. Here there's a bit of light reflecting there. Even when it's occluded, it's dark, of course. There's not much contrast going on, but you can still see a bit of sunlight or a moonlight here. So, where do we find more reed roofing? That's a good question. Again, I like the sort of pixel arty vibe to it, Crunchy. Have played it on phone with really bad net, and it's the only game that worked. There we go. Tell everyone you know, Rain. Crunchy, I know what you're saying, and I fully get what you mean. Like, could you make the lines a bit disjointed, like in the original? My main comment right now, and maybe this will evolve in the future, my main comment right now is, if you want that style, play the original. The trick is to make this game, this remaster, look entirely different from the original. And the way to do it is by making different decisions, and like I said, this is an experiment, but so far I'm liking what I see. Making some of the textures that can be super symmetrical and mathematically defined, making them like that. So it's just a stylistic choice, and I understand what you're saying. Like, I understand what you say 100%, 120% even. But style-wise, I think this is like the right direction. Let's see if we can find another wonder with reed roofing. Count Worth de Villa. It is a pretty warm build, but I'm not sure if we do have reed roofing on here. I do know that the City of Heroes has got it, which is wonder number 1 or so. For instance, Crunchy, in the original, these bricks, they are also asymmetrical and they've got weird lines to them. And now they are super perfectly aligned to the pixel grid. And I think that makes for a different style, which is a good thing. Count de Villa is looking pretty good. The wood is still a texture that we should experiment with, which can take a long time to get right. Also bamboo poles here. This building looks cyanish, but it's only because the moonlight is bluish. But I don't see reed roofing anywhere here. So let's teleport to wonder number 1. City of Heroes. It needs to stream in because I haven't visited this since removing my files. Okay, so we need to go to the plaza, the center square. I know that at least one building there has got reed roofing on it. And we can also admire the marble reflections here. Oh, the light is reflecting in the marble. And this is tiles, okay. Okay, so on YouTube, when you pause, you are getting delayed, so you cannot chat anymore. I think you can still chat, Tinspin. But I didn't receive any more messages. I took a look at your picture. It's your new 2D MMO. Wow. But again, what happened to the 3D one? The 3D engine that you created? Like, the engine was almost fully done, so what happened to that? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, this building. I know that this building has got reed roofing on it. It's paused. There we go. Yes, I get it, Crunchy says. And each block you remaster is making you more and more thrifty in your process of making them. You are learning so fast. Yeah. So again, imagine that this is a different style now. And that this roof needs to go well with the paving tiles around it. Boom! Procrastination explosion. Yeah. I like the roof. I like the roof. It's not on fire, so we don't need no water. Let's see one more time here when the sun rises. I think it's pretty good. I'm afraid that we could spend a lot of time making the reeds bigger, and then it wouldn't look like reed anymore. I fully get that like 7 might be the right way to go, or 6, but I want to sort of prevent them starting to look like wood or bricks or something. But my point with those graphics is that royalty-free assets are going to change the world. Programmer art is going away. Alright. Alright. Like I said, it looks pretty nice. Like Zelda 2D art. Like the original Zelda for the Super Nintendo. What's it called? Legend of Zelda? Or try 7. Just try it. Just try it. It's going to be so much work, Crunchy. It's going to be so much work. And like from the distance, it looks more like reed. Like the less you have, the less reedish it's going to be. Because up close, maybe we need even more. Maybe we just want even more. Just try it. Please. I like the subtle effect that it gives. Oh. Like talking about staying true to the original. This is as close to the original as we can get. Just try it. Maybe people will have like... Leave it at this for now, and then if I get more feedback from people who watch this, or we will be seeing that texture again in the future, so maybe we should ask a recap on the live stream this weekend. Tell people like, hey, take a look at the latest version of the dev stream and see if you like it. My problem with Angeldust is it looks cartoony with photorealistic effect. It clashes. Like the original Angeldust or the one that I'm working on right now. Because I'm trying to like unify everything here. This one, okay. Well, hold on to your horses just for a bit, because this is the exact way that Pixar and Disney make their movies. They have a very photorealistic renderer with very cartoony stuff. I think it can work, but you haven't seen all of the components just yet. The original was more consistent, and people were already complaining about that one. Okay. The remaster will be called Glazed Dust. Yeah, maybe. Because I think this new texture style feels so much more cartoony than the original. And of course, it uses realistic rendering effects, but it uses very stylized visuals, which is exactly what Crunchy was complaining about. What were the complaints? That the original dudes, like the 2D dudes, don't fit in the world. Like the original phrasing was they look like Photoshop cutouts in a world. So already the comment was that the world looked too realistic and that things should be more cartoony. How though? Why though? Again, I like the way that things are starting to look now. But hey, that's just my opinion, man. Paper Mario, that was the original inspiration for the look, yeah. But they said it looks like Photoshop cutouts.
Hey, sweet call.
You are a programmer. Yes, there's absolutely no... Come on. You are the programmer. You are the and you haven't even released a game commercially. Or did you? One of your own games. Here we go, reed roofing. It looks absolutely spectacular, Crunchy. Wow, check it out. It's so reed roofing like. Like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe. Oh, is Crunchy right though? Do we need to make the reed roofing bigger? Hard to tell. We'll have to ask more people about their opinion. Or maybe I will see the light. Because so far I've been using the exact same process for all of the blocks, and like this is consistent with the way I treated the other textures. And now maybe consistency isn't the goal, but like I'm super afraid that if I make them bigger, that it doesn't look like reed anymore. But Crunchy, here we go. Copy this over, we make an archive folder. And we call it 2022 12 8 reads on sides. Hey, I just have an opinion. Yes, and that's good. That's good. We need opinionated people. Yes, but you didn't do the art style for that, Tinspin. You only made the back end, as far as I know, at least. You didn't art direct the entire project. Speaking of programmer art. But let's forget about it. Let's forget about it. It's a wrong way, or like not a good way to take the conversation. My bad. I messed up. 40% transparency. Okay. If it's not good, Crunchy says it's not good. Okay, so instead of being 30 wide, they will now be 40 wide. This is going to take so much time. Oh, there we go. And then we add 2 more, so that's 6 in total. Yep. And then we copy that over, and then we do it like that. Move this one over there, 240 pixels. Move this one over there, 240 pixels. Better, Crunchy? Better? Oh, here we go. Is it still live? Tinspin, just as a detour here. EonAlpha.com. It's a low poly multiplayer space shooter. There we go. Let's go. Am I playing it? How do I shoot? It's live. No, that is a GIF. Oh. So we need to go over to this, to the itch.io. Alright. You need Java to run the game? Okay. Is there any move here, or is it mostly these images? Do you have a trailer? Like a YouTube movie? That's it, okay. Do you have like footage that you could send me? I can take a look. Like the game itself, I'm not sure if I'm going to like try out the game itself. But the art style is low poly, which is interestingly one of the art styles that I considered as well. The GIF is a trailer. Ah, there we go. Okay, Crunchy. This is the circular displacement. Then we have the slanting, which we can reuse, except we need to make this stuff 40% transparent. That's at least what we started at with the other one. Slanting added to it. And then we have the roundedness, and the roundedness is a bit weird in the sense that we have to... What am I doing? Normal. We have to... Crunchy, what did you get me into? But hey, I wanted to make this texture. We're gonna make this texture. Boom, 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 boom. Remove all of this. 40 pixels wide, just because we can. Inner glow. We were at 12 pixels, if I'm not mistaken. The pressure is on, yeah. The heat is on. Which was in Beverly Hills Cop, if I'm not mistaken. The heat is on. Beverly Hills Cop 1 starts with that song. Copy paste. Rotate. Bottom left. Paste. Bottom right. Paste. Top right. Just like that. And then we draw a square. My most favorite part of the process. Do it like that. Group this. Multiply. Boom. Boom. Bam. 6, 6, 6, 6. Crunchy, it's exactly what you wanted. All I want for Christmas is reed roof. Do-do-do-do-do. I don't want a lot of Christmas. I just want the roofing. 'Cause all I want for Christmas is you. Where can we hire this magnificent singer? We don't know. The heat is on. Okay, I was expecting a bigger change in the texture, but it didn't happen. So one thing to keep in mind is that we might have to scale some things differently here.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Okay, okay, okay. Crunchy. I think you were on the right track. And I'm glad that we went with 6 instead of 7. Hello, Wendy. Welcome to the stream. We are working on the reed roofing texture. This one over here. Crunchy, I think I'm glad that you proposed this. And I'm glad I went with 6 instead of 8, which is already a bigger difference. I think going any coarser might be wrong. Or do we go with 5? Hey, anytime, Crunchy says. I don't mind it. I don't mind it as much as I thought I would mind it. So let's see if we can go to the
No time to waste. Let's go.
12 Kingdoms. Rob is having an absolute blast with us visiting every time. And let's head over to the reed roofing building. But in between we will look at the red roofing tiles. Oh, they're so nice. Hello tiles. I wish you a very pleasant
Now we
day.
found the loot and we're happy.
Okay, okay. I like it. It's a bit more cartoony. It's a bit bolder. It has a bit more character to it, a bit more flavor. Crunchy says, hey Wendy. So now the only thing that I want to do is to make it look a bit more rounded. So maybe exaggerate the rounding just a little bit. Or maybe we should look at the City of Heroes, move over to the building and see what that looks like.
Been looking for this.
From a distance it's nice too, I agree. And it's a bit bolder, it's a bit more cartoony, Crunchy, so that's good.
For this.
Now we don't see a lot of detail from this distance, but we're not very up close. We're being congratulated, we've got 100 chat messages already. So it's a good stream, people have been chatting a lot, thank you. Okay, so you see a bit of the macro effect from here. You don't see the individual strands, which is absolutely no problem. Let's head into the cinematic mode time-lapse. 101, thank you Rain, you did well. You're doing it. Also, are the lamps still on? Yeah. So, previously one of the lamps sort of like died after streaming for 3 hours or so. Now the question is, do we go with 4? Problem is, if we go with 4, we start to approach the paving tiles. Then a reed would be like half a paving tile. I think that's a bit too much. But this 8 to 6, I like it. We could go with 5. But I think this still has a bit more reed vibe to it. A bit more of a reed vibe. I think this one has also got a reed roofing. Try 12. This is 12. We have 6, like 6 per half, so that's 12 in total. The question is, do we want to go with 8? Or do we want to go with 10? Like, would that be better? I think we hit 6 is so I think we hit a sweet spot here. I think going at 5, like 10 in total, would be a bit too coarse. Okay, already you can see that this doesn't feel like reeds, like scale-wise. So we probably don't want to go even smaller. We've got 12 on a block. A block is 1 meter, so these reeds are about 8 centimeters wide, which is this wide reed. I think we exaggerated the texture to the point where if we go even bolder, the scale compared to the characters will be gone. So I think this is a good trade-off between the texture, like having it look like reed and sort of being still appropriate when seen in context. Because you have to imagine there will be dudes in the world, right? So you will see dudes running around, hopefully. If we add a dude here, or a dudette, like the scale still needs to be somewhat good. Hello. Yeah, I know this trick. Check this out. If I stand below the building and spawn a sorceress, she will actually be on top of the building because she falls down from the sky. Let's go up in the time lapse just for a moment. Okay, she's sort of floating here, but don't worry about it. Forget about it. Like, seeing this would advocate, at least to me, for going with 8 again. Because we want to get that balance right. It's magic. Oh yeah, it's magic. Sorceress, she can fly. Do we go back to 8? Or is 6 just as good? Let's stay with 6. Crunchy, thanks for the feedback. Let's go with 6. And again, maybe the next phase is to get more feedback on the design itself. I think otherwise, like other than the amount of reads, the depth to it is good, the feel to it is good, like the material definitely is a lot less glossy than the roofing tiles. So in all, I can live with this. We added some slanting. I think the back side of it also looks pretty good with all of the detailing going on. Another change that's coming is the mirroring will probably be removed from this one as well. So there probably will be a lot of things to like about the texture. I mean, check out the difference between the upside down and regularly placed roofing tiles. The difference is night and day. So if you can make all of them look like this, then we're good. Then we're good. So that's reed roofing. One thing that I don't want to do, but that we have to do, is the wooden planks. Maybe we can already, like, I don't want to end on a like on a bummer. I don't want to make the stream like be very depressing or anything, because that's not what you deserve. But we have to talk about the wooden planks. We have to talk about them. This current version uses the albedo hack that you see in the horizontal thing as well. And I want to get rid of that albedo hack. So what block will be next? Probably the wooden planks. Reed roofing, I like it. Pixel artish, very good. The wooden planks are very important now, because this is where we have to let go of what we know and love about the original textures, and where we have to improve stuff. So I'm going to copy all of these, and we're going to make a new archive folder, 2022-12 PBR albedo hacked. We copied them over. We'll start with the base texture. And we start off with the displacement. This is where we let go. This is like in the Matrix. Free your mind. And this is basically the texture. This is it. This is the texture. It's already here. This is our wooden plank. Except it needs to be on the bottom. And it needs to be, how many pixels tall? 138? Let's open up the bricks base. $138. Right, and then we probably divide the space above them in 2 parts. But first, no, not first. We start coloring using different colors. Like this is the bottom plank. let's take a look at what the original texture looked like. This. So bottom plank, then we have one sort of halfway through, I believe. Maybe we can open it up in Illustrator, add the rulers. This center point is at 225. Wooden planks need to be less glossy. Okay, that's something we can look into. So we could say that this is sort of at the halfway point, and this one is at 176, which is 1/3. Hey Zegas! Zegas asks, hello Firefly, how are you? Doing fine, thank you. The power is working today, so I'm happy at all. Happy at all. Move this one over there. Oh, we need to set the size of it. So this one is 138. So our entire texture is 480 minus 138 divided by 2. 171 pixels. I bet no one thought that would be the value. 171. Boom. Do we see the same thing on these planks? Yeah, these are definitely slightly taller. And for the bricks we did the same thing. So we could also go with a different symmetry here. We could also decide that we have a very thick center plank, like this sort of, and then we have a samely sized and equally sized one on top. Sort of like this. But I think it might be better to go with the mathematical definition of correct. So this is another plank, and then in the top row we have it at 1/3, so that's not 0, that's not 240, 160. What? Oh, it's double sized, so it's 160 minus 240 then? Nope. Minus 320? Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. Eventually we got there. Yeah, this ruler, yeah, this is good. And then this is the other plank. And I'm the other Frank, yeah. So these are our planks, basically. Oh, if we decide to use all funky colors. This is the general layout of our plank texture. Now we just define a single style for it, so let's go with white and use the inner glow for this. And it's all going to tie like into each other, tie together. Like, how rounded are these going to have to appear? How much blur do we want on them? How I think they are definitely less deep than the bricks. So let's go with a much more subtle look on the planks. Like maybe something like this, displacement wise. Because we don't want to make them look like bricks, we want to make them look like planks. And planks, in my experience, are way less thick than bricks. And they also have like smaller rounding to them. So maybe we just 189, because we do want to have a bit of cartooniness in there. Maybe this is the plank layout. Let's save it and again work iteratively. The flatter the better. That doesn't hold for everything in life, Crunchy. Sometimes it's not the flatter the better. Sometimes you want a bit of roundedness to things. We've got very rounded roofing tiles, so to speak. Anyway, displacement. Again, working iteratively. Don't expect the world from the first version. But this looks more like planks than bricks already. So, like in my opinion, the effect could be even more subtle. But don't worry about it. We're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to make something work here. Smooth out the normals for consistency. And one of the, like, kill your darlings is a phrase that you hear sometimes. this might be a case of kill your darlings, where things looked super super spectacular after spending a lot of time tweaking everything with the existing textures. But this might be kill your darlings in the sense that we have to let go of the notion what a plank looks like, because I cannot draw thousands of textures in that same style in a single lifetime. The edges of each plank could curve up into a slight rounded edge. Yeah, that's something that we can add. We didn't just do this for other blocks just yet, but for the planks it might be nice to add a bit of... I understand what you're saying, like making it stand out like this a bit. That's entirely an effect that we want to add. We already did this on an earlier live stream with the earlier version of the texture, so good comment, good comment. Maybe you subliminally picked it up from that live stream. Yeah, so let's try to get rid of this stuff. Boom. And then we just make the background white. We do want to add nails. I think that's a detail that we still want to add. But we throw out the entire albedo here. Like this has got the wrong dimension to it. Maybe the other ones as well, but doesn't really matter. We're making a start with a fresh start with a new wooden texture. Wooden planks, albedo. Fresh start, fresh look. Trying to improve things. Because here we're looking for consistency rather than old textures. To show the shrinkage of real wood, I'm not super familiar with shrinkage of real wood, but we can do it. Half the nails could stick out a very tiny bit, yeah? Or maybe not, maybe for like making things consistent as a whole, we don't do it, but...
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Here we go. Wooden planks here. Bricks there. Wooden planks. Bricks. Wooden planks. Bricks. So, opinions, takes on this. Firefly, the previous version looked much better. Okay, but we're not done yet. We're not done just yet. The most defining characteristic is now gone, the nails. So maybe we add nails as the next step. Crunchy, you get ready for work. It's more important than what we're doing here. Definitely. Come on, you want that paycheck? You gotta work for it. So, in advance though, enjoy working. I hope you have a blast today. And then you have a nice weekend afterwards. To simulate the effect of the background, I think we do make the planks a bit more rigid. Like deeper, like this. It also simulates there being space between the planks, so that's good. And we probably can add, like, let's call this planks. Crunchy's effect. Let's see if we can add Crunchy's effect by doing another inner glow, where the inner side of the plank is deeper. Apply new effect from the center. Yeah, just like that. And then we erase it a lot. 200. And we need more blur on this. So we know Crunchy is not there, but Crunchy, see, this is sort of the depressed effect going on the wooden planks, like as if they're being stepped on. Maybe add some cracks and bumps. I understand what you are saying. This looks much more like planks. Yeah, this is a trick. This makes it stand out. We cannot have, and this is going to be the hot debate going on here on the channel. We cannot have too much detail in one texture compared to another one. See, the planks are curved now. The planks are curved slightly. It's a nice effect. Not sure how pronounced it is in the normal map, but maybe it just adds a bit of flavor to it. The entire style is now more leaning towards like very not detailed, and we should find something that works for wood that is not detailed. This ambient occlusion map doesn't look too good, but we'll run with it for now. Because if we start adding a lot of cracks and bumps to the wood, then suddenly all of the other materials look out of place, because they don't have that detailing. And that's the kill your darlings portion. Like, we had superb looking wood. But we need to find something different. And now you might ask, why do we need? Yeah, it needs to be done. And maybe we had 4 planks.
Let's go.
Okay. If we go to the other side of the build, maybe we can see the depressed portion a bit better. Yeah, okay. Here you can see that the rims are slightly lit up. Is good. Because we also have the overgrown cinder block. Let's place one of those here. Oh, oops. Over there. And here we do the same trick. The overgrowth doesn't have a lot of detail, but it does have a bit of shadow going on to it, so it's nicely overlaid. So let's add in nails. Nails is definitely a thing that we want to add. And then we see what that looks like. Let's take it bit by bit, step by step. So these are the planks. Now Crunchy said, hey, make the nails stick out slightly, which might be a nice touch. And we also have to decide or settle on a position for the nails. So where do we add them? If we look at the original texture, the bricks can be gone. Yeah, they are of course near the corners, which is entirely logical. Nails. And then we probably want to make the planks just a wee bit darker so that we can get a height difference between the nails and the planks. And let's not make it too big of a difference. So let's do 250 for the planks, 250, and then the nails will be at 255, so they will be just slightly above the planks. And then the question becomes, how big are the nails? (24 by 24), and I do want to just, like, you expect them to be rotated like this, like most of the nails are rotated in the original texture as well. And then, do we make them mathematically aligned? Like, if this is the corner of the thing, do we just use mathematics like this? That's too much. So 2 by 2, hands of blue. 1 1 2 2. 2. Like that? Hey, we're trying things out here. 2 2. 2. All right. So one thing to note is that because we added this recessed effect, the nails are sticking out a bit much. So we can probably raise the planks again to 255, just like that, and the effect is a bit more subtle. Let's save this as a displacement. Again, working iteratively, but that doesn't mean that we can't just spend a bit of time trying to get it right. Open it up. I don't really see the nails in here in the displacement, which would imply that we're working a bit too subtly here. So let's lower the planks. 222, 222. Okay. It makes the recessed portion. Okay, this is maybe a bit too strong. 240, 240, 240. And I'm not even sure if the nails should be in there. Okay, so now we can... Let me pixel zoom here. Not going to look pretty, but here. The nails are definitely in there. And again, this might be a kill your darlings moment where we make these super mathematically correct planks. But we have to start somewhere. It's... Okay, smoothing out the normal makes the nails a lot more subtle anyway. So let's use that new normal map, a new ambient occlusion map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not loving the look of this, but hey, don't worry. The nails are also very large, I believe. I think. But iteratively, ambient occlusion. The nails are not metallic just yet. The nails are now, they are sticking out slightly, but they're still wood. So we're trying to get a feel for the overall layout of the texture here.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Okay. Another decision to make. Can it be more cartoony? Yes, sir, it can be more cartoony. So larger nails in there. Okay. Let's just go. Let's go. Let's see what it looks like. Now we're going to copy them over to the albedo and to the material map. And then we can decide if we need even more detail. So that's the nails copied. Then we paste them in the albedo. New layer. And they are properly aligned. Okay, that's a nice thing. We want to have the background be white, which is white. Okay, background BG. And then the nails, we should probably copy over the color from the original version, the older version that we had, where they have a metallic 156. Boop. The albedo is saved. Then we copy over the nails to the material map. Base material. We already have a layer that has got these nails in there, and they are 255, 255, 108. Why are they not showing up in here? I have no idea. But anyway, we paste our new nails, and of course it's the wrong dimension, so let's just make a completely new file for that. Let's call this nails. And we want them to be 255, 255, 108. 255, 255, 108. These channels set the albedo override, so we're mixing them to gray. We want them to be metallic, and we want to slightly decrease the roughness so that they are more glossy. And then we add a background for this. which we can copy from the albedo file. Boom. And then we close the other file and save this one over it. Close this one, close this one. You can even close this one for a moment. And this is wooden planks, material base, save, replace, boom, done. Close it. And now we have this material map. So the nails look pretty visually apparent in that map if you take a look at it, but what can you do? What can you do?
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Okay, there are nails in there. They even reflect somewhat. The nails are quite big though. When we didn't change the albedo, they were a bit more subdued, but more subtle. Now they do really stick out. Like literally, because they are slightly raised compared to the planks themselves. Let's take a look at what the walkway looks like. Okay, lots of nails over there. Lots of nails on the stairs here. Might be a bit too much. Okay, here I don't mind them as much. But you would still, like, if you would advocate that these are too large, I would still say, yeah, maybe the nails are a bit too visually apparent here. Especially compared to where we came from. So I think we can do a very quick hack on this, where we open up the, let's start with the albedo, which is apparently that file, because we are in the albedo hacked folder. We just select them all, then we say object, scale, object, transform each, there we go. They are 33 by, okay, the pixel amount is off because we rotated them. So we just scale them like what, 75%? 80%? It works in both directions, so this is actually 64. So if you go 75, that's half as big. Sure. $75. Then on the displacement map we also scale them 75. Transform each 75. Boom. New displacement, and then we open up the material base, and this is also transform each 75, and we don't have to save this one just yet. Yeah, looking at it in the Pixplant, you can definitely see that the nails were already quite large. This looks better. This looks better already. More subtle. One thing that we could do is to add rounded heads to the nails, but hey, why not have flat heads on the nails? It doesn't really matter. New ambient occlusion, which still has this bit of artifacting going on. I'm not sure why, but we're running with it. New version. Let's check it out. And once we've seen this one, we can decide what the major problem is next.
Let's go.
And work on that. Okay, more subtle nails. They are nicely glossy, so they are reflecting the sunlight. And now the question is, do they match the style? What do builds look like? Because this is just an artificial construct.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Let's go to... Did Eclipse use planks? Big question. Planks anywhere? If there are planks anywhere, there should be nails. Because where there are planks, there are nails. So let's see if we nailed it. No planks here, sir. Then just visit a random wonder. Saint-Revoir. We've got planks here. In fact, we've got so many planks that you cannot even count them all. Here are planks. The entire floor is planks. Okay. People could advocate and say that the nails are still a bit too much here. Carl says, hey Carl, how are you doing? There's a lot of nails everywhere. Like everywhere. Everywhere you go. Ooh, you do see the nice depressed effect here. So the planks definitely have this hollow feel to them. That's good, that's good. I'll take a screenshot to remind myself of that effect, because it's pretty good. But the nails, definitely a little bit too much still. From afar, it looks pretty good. So if you ignore the nails for a moment, it looks pretty good. Hey, you're back. Anyone want to feel some emotions? It's good. I'm glad that these people find my live stream. Let's subtlify the nails a bit more. But by how much will we do it? 75% again? Sure. Nope. So every time that we scale by 75%, if we take the calculator out, it's 0.75 times 0.75 area-wise. So we're sort of halving the size of them, which is very close to the binary search algorithm for design that I proposed a few streams ago. Like almost a year ago even. Let's do it again, Sam. Okay, now the nails are starting to approach invisible territory, so we don't want to go too much smaller than this. One, two, three, four, five. This might also explain why I started with the bricks. It was just a texture that was much easier to do, and the bamboo, like those large scale textures, they are much easier to do than these wooden planks. But still, we're looking for ways to make it look good.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
So let's go to a wonder, Dragon's Nest spaceport, which is mostly metals. Like corroded steel over here. Here are also some nails, so that's definitely sort of the size that we want to be shooting for. I like this UFO. this circular spacecraft. I'm going to take a screenshot. If the nails were bent, the sun and shadows could give a neat effect. Yes, that's true. But the other problem, again, Crunchy, is that you want to, or I want to keep it consistent, sort of. And that means that you can't start introducing those kinds of details on some textures and then leave them out of others. It's very hard, it's a fine balance to get right. Cinnabon Village. This uses a lot of wood. But Crunchy, I just took a screenshot. It was so nice with the depressed look to the planks. You were absolutely right. Like having sort of the plank bent like that. That's nice. It's a good effect.
And now we found the loot.
Does
and
this
we're
combine
happy.
bricks with planks though? Oh, there are already planks on the floor. Lots of nails for everyone. Style technically, I think we make the edges curve a bit more. The texture needs to be a bit more pronounced, is the word I think I'm looking for. Thinking out loud? That's good, Crunchy. That's brainstorming. I'm glad. You've got some good ideas on this. So far we've already made great progress here. So let us now tweak this one. So it's more in the background. So a much sharper angle to it. Do we go all the way? Do we say like this is super sharp? It does resemble the effect of the original texture. So maybe we just use the maximal displacement like this. I think on some bricks we also use this pattern. So that it's got much more pronounced edges to it. And if it's too much, we can tone it down. See? How about those apples? One still thing open for debate is whether we distribute this differently, but okay. Should the nails get rusty? Yeah, that's also a good comment. Yeah, maybe that's a trick. We make them less shiny. Of course, you also have like rust-proof nails. I mean, that's a thing that exists, but this is sort of medieval times, and in medieval times you didn't have rust-proof nails just yet. So let's first exaggerate the planks a bit more, and then see if we can tone down the nails slightly. Or maybe give them that corroded steel look.
Oh, no,
It's a valid
boys, let's go.
complaint. It's not a complaint, but it's a valid comment. Here we have Senavoy, and it's got a lot of planks. Yeah. Here we go. See, Krusty? See, Krusty? Crunchy? There's a bit of a depressed effect going on in these planks. As if they've been worn out and if they've been stretched different ways. And honestly, like we don't have the wood grain in there, but honestly this is starting to feel like wooden planks in this style. As in, I would understand that wood grain might add a bit of detailing, but how to add it in a good way. It's lower detail, but that's also what we were shooting for, lower detail. I don't mind it. The size of the nails is very close to the size of the nails in those metallic things. Nito. Yeah, it's a very nice effect, which... let me show you. It's such a nice effect. Let's go to... I need to look it up. Saint Refoir. The Saint Refoir Wonder. It's... Saint Refoir. 30. Wonder number 30. Teleport Wonder 30. Okay, we should have taken 29. We'll go there next. Maybe we can get the effect on these as well. If there's a lamp somewhere. You can sort of see it here. The depressed effect, where you get a very subtle gradient in the rendering of it. 29. Then we go inside of the library. Inside the library, here we go, boom. Lots of planks. Starting to feel like an actual wooden floor, which is good. Except the nails. Like, what do we do with the nails? So it was here that I saw the effect in full effect. See over this, on these tables, Crunchy, you see the hollowed outness of the planks. Which I like. So now the remaining question is, how shiny or how glossy should the nails themselves be? Or do we add... What we can do is to make them, like I said, we can make them round. Maybe that will get rid of most of the flat highlighting effect going on. So if we use a gradient on here, radial, and then have like 255 be on top, RGB 255, and then we do them to RGB 250. Can go a bit lower, 245, 245, 245. Can go lower even. I'm not sure what we put the planks at. 230, 230, 230. That's pretty convincingly, as if the nails are above it. So maybe erase them slightly. 235, 235, 235. And we run with this. So the nails now have a rounded head to them. Maybe that shines through in the normal map, and then they will look a bit more subtle. You nailed it. Oh, that's a joke. You nailed it. You nailed it. It's a joke. Yeah, there's definitely... Yeah, see? The normal map now definitely picks up some roundedness to the nails. Which the ambient occlusion doesn't really show. A no-show on that channel, but that doesn't matter. Because it's a very subtle effect anyway. Material, boom. Throw these ones in there. So maybe our wood is defined by the fact that it's hollowed out slightly.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Let's go to the same build, 29. Still on the dragon, park the dragon. And we go inside. We go inside. The nails don't stand out at me just as much anymore. And of course, if you're near a light source, they will be reflecting. Yeah, but you can see, pixel zoom, take a look at this, take a look at this. See, the nail now definitely has a light side and like the light side is on the bottom and the unlit side is on the top. So it's a way more subtle shading on the nails themselves as well. So they are as big as before, but they look a bit more subtle because the highlight on them is smaller. And if you forget about the albedo effect of having like wood grain in there, I think this is about as close to the wooden planks that we can get in this style, which is of course much more abstract. But it feels pretty good. Again, pixel artish is what we're looking for. So not too many details, not too much details, but get the overall structure just right. Now, where do we find Wonder 23? I want to go to Wonder 23. It's awesome, Crunchy says. I'm starting to grow fond of these, indeed. We go up on the bridge here. See what that looks like. In daytime, sure. We move up here. Come on. Why can't I get on this stairs thing? Reed roofing, also looking good. We want to get up. It's a bit iffy. The bridge, wooden planks. Wow. Wooden planks deluxe with nails that are super glossy and nice. Like, do the planks need a bit wider of a taper to sort of match the bricks? Not entirely sure about that just yet. But I do feel that they feel like wood. Like the main overall texture stands and holds. So independently of whether we decide to use albedo for wood grain, like add more detail to it, I think the overall structure of the texture is decent this way. Sure, you see the nails, sure. But that's what makes it the wooden plank. It feels good to me. And I know I might be in the minority here, but it feels good to me. Let's see, Random Wonder, where do we end up? Dream Citia by Dottie, okay. Wooden planks here. Lit by the lanterns on the opposite side of the wall. Another trick that we could do, maybe, potentially, you see the nails reflecting from the lanterns? That's a pretty nice effect. We could remove the horizontal separators so that the planks would just be like endless. The dark wood is definitely good. See, this dark wood, it's so nice. Like this feels very realistic. To me, at least. We've got reed roofing in there for the these are stables for the horses. And now that I see this crunchy, I do want to go back to the 8 strand reed. It just needs a bit more detail because this doesn't look like reed that a horse is about to eat or yeet. I think the 8 strand reed is the better version. Seeing this, I think potentially. Maybe. Okay, any more wooden buildings? After 3 or 4 new block remasters, you will probably learn some new techniques and change everything. Yeah, it's an iterative process. Like, you can't get it perfect first try. But we do our best. That's just what we do. We try to get the job done.
Been looking for this.
One more random wonder. City of Runeterra. Lots of wood here. Like every building here is wood. And it just might be time to start unveiling some more secrets to, because people might not think it makes sense to do the textures in this style. Like Tinspin said, hey, you've got this realistic rendering and then everything is cartoony. Yeah, there's a reason for that. There's a reason I'm trying to do it like this. And we haven't looked into that just yet. For now, I'm happy with these planks. And some people might be tearing their hair out and saying like, whoa, the old ones were so much better. But you will see, you will see. Like, it gets rid of the background pixels. It's all material definitions and normal maps now. I do know and I fully understand that some of the albedo tricks are gone now. So the wood grain is gone and the very high contrasty background is gone. But it
Now we
puts the
found
focus on the
loot
material
and we're
again.
happy.
Solomon's Castle. Do we have any wooden parts to this? Yeah, we've got the windmill. The windmill is over on this side. Can we get up? Nope.
Nothing like that new treasure smell.
And some people might say, hey, it's programmer art, but it's not. It's a very stylistic interpretation of the textures. It's very rigid, pixel art reminiscent. But everything will come together soon. Okay, here we have the mine, which is lined with wooden planks. Good, good, good. And then we end up at the mill. Now, this was built with a older version of the game in mind, so there's not a lot of lighting on the outside, but inside we do get lighting. And then we're greeted with this very nice wooden room. The sides are facing bricks vertical, okay, so that's a texture we could probably potentially do. See, the roof is wooden planks, and here you can see the depressed effect as well. Hey, imagine if in the top left corner of our screen the Yeehaw video plays each time everyone subs to this channel. You would be the first and have my permission to use it. We could do it, Crunchy. We could do it, but I'm not sure if I can set up those alerts at the moment. So the problem is not with the Yeehaw video, but the problem is with the technical requirements and making it work. But it's a cool suggestion. Top notch. I approve. So anyway, here we have the inside of the windmill with the reed roofing. Yeah, I definitely feel that we have to go to 8. It's a bit too coarse, given the size and the shaping of the other blocks now. Let me just quickly switch them out. Reed roofing, reed roof variations, archive, sorry. So let's make another folder, 2, 22, 12, 6. Reeds on sides. At first I was super impressed because of the 6 thing. But now that I see it in context, I think that the 8 one is just better. Let's replace them. See what that feels like. Maybe I'm still wrong, but
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
it just felt a bit awkward. Like the size was just a bit too large. Which coincidentally.
Hey, sweet haul.
Wooden planks on the bridge. I like it. Maybe we can make the hollowed out effect a bit stronger even. Maybe that's the entire replacement for the albedo. And we could also go with a sort of bulging effect on bricks, just to give every material sort of its own properties in that regard. Which wonder did we just visit? The one with the, it was G Castle, which is wonder number 10? Solomon's Castle, yeah. Let's go to the mill and check out the reed roofing. Also, the metal shading is so much better ever since I lowered the diffuse reflection intensity. Get up here. Where is the mill? It should be somewhere over here.
Been looking for this.
Okay, we sort of want to climb this wall. Can we get over here? Nope, then we'll just use the cinematic mode. I give up. I think the wood combines nicely with the bricks now. Just the material on it is different. The layout is different. Let's see what people think of this. Okay, so here we're back in the interior, then we move up. And this is the 8 reed roof. Yeah, this is already maybe too subtle. So I think Crunchy D6 was a great idea, and it definitely added a bit more pizzazz if you looked at it from a distance, but I feel if you're interacting with it close range, the scale was just a bit too much off. But we gave it a shot, and it was just now, like, I hadn't minded it all stream, but it was just now that I realized, okay, it is a bit too coarse. So one more time, let's head into the door, and let's head into the reed roofing portion. Which says, yep. See, because this is a dude, and this is supposed to be reed roofing, and a horse needs to eat it. Needs to eat this. That's what I wanted to say. We like to learn and do it right. Yes. And this is very subtle, very good, very good. I want to end the stream, so I want to do one last tweak to the reed roofing. The wood, honestly, I know. Again, a lot of people are probably pulling their hairs out and saying like, what? This is not the wood that we saw before, and it is totally different, and it's not good, and it's... Trust me, it's gonna get better in context. Sometimes you have to do things differently. And maybe some people call it programmer art, maybe. It's not meant as programmer art, it's meant to be super good. Like, as always, I'm trying my best to make this the best game possible. So let's do a bit more slanting here, just to give it a bit more directionality and texture. And then we're good. Next stream we'll probably apply the patch to remove the mirroring on some of those blocks, and that will be good as well. It will give it a different vibe at least. So ambient occlusion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Save. Reed roofing variations. AO. This is your baby, and I'll still make an opinion. It's like other things. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Crunchy, and I'm really glad that you are here to give your feedback and your thoughts on it. It really makes us think things over. It's very easy to just say like, hey, this is the way it's gonna be, and let's not discuss it anymore. Everything is still open for discussion. It's just that sometimes my main goals don't align with the main goals of other people who are watching. Like, my goal is to find a artwork process and a way forward to making a lot of textures in a way that's controllable and that I can do on my own. And
no time to waste. Let's
that
go.
might not like coincide with doing textures perfectly for every viewer out there. But I feel that we're making good progress, and for the style that I'm looking for, we're doing pretty well. This is Electrode. It's a very complex build, large. I think there's wooden parts to it over here, and I'm not sure if there's reed roofing, so maybe we just go back to the windmill one more time. Okay, here we have a brick chair, which looks pretty good. Okay, wooden planks on the floor here. A nicely recessed effect here. I mean, this one is now really starting to stand out, this old wood texture, compared to the wood texture that you see here. See the difference? So people say like, hey, we want the wood to be like this. And I understand, that's the cartoon style that you know from Angeldust, very high contrast textures. In this new version, I want to make the materials speak for themselves, and that involves not forcing contrast in the texture itself. There could be albedo, so there could be wood grain in the texture. Maybe we can copy it over and it might improve it. But for now, I like the sort of coarser look to it. And just check out the windowsills on this. Like, there is probably a build out there that has got wooden windowsills and bricks, but the feel of this, like the look of it, like I start to sound like Goldmember a lot here, but seriously, check out the difference between the way that these cinder blocks are rendered, which is the old style, and these new ones. These new ones just have so much more flavor and depth to them, and they do not force pixels to be darker. So this forces the texture to be dark, and I don't like it anymore. I like the subtle lighting effects that we have. It's so much more vivid and deep. Like the way you enter this room and you can immediately read it. You can read the distance, you can read the materials. There's no single texture anymore forcing you to see it a certain way. Hey Amelia, welcome back. You're catching me at the tail end of the stream here, Amelia. I did a bit of work on these wooden planks to make them more abstract. We made a new reed roofing texture that we're going to take a look at. And we tried some other things, new roofing tiles. If we go to Rob 12's 12 Kingdoms, I've got some very nice roofing tiles to show you. But we're almost done. I want to go eat lunch and I've got some things to do this afternoon. Wow, 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 wow. The roofing tiles, they're so nice, so shiny, glazed. So every texture we're replacing with a version that has got displacement built in, normal mapping, and we just don't do the high contrast textures anymore. This is the reed roofing, which is supposedly not going to have the mirrored effect anymore in the future. But it's just very thin strands of reed laying next to each other. Not gonna lie, this looks very much better. There you go. And here's also a paving tiles or roofing tiles. They're rounded and they've got like slanting going on. I like it. I like it. And the wooden planks, let's see if we can find some. Everything is going to be different. We need to tweak a lot of textures. I did a new one and tweaked an existing one. And let's just keep on working like that to see if we can find a definitive combined super style. Ekplixie, one more time. We can go into the wooden shack. Let's find the wooden shack and go in there. But just the coloring, the depth, the layering, it's starting to come together. And now Tinspin says, hey, it's just dumb that you have this realistic style. And then you have, but there's a secret, there's a trick that I have to unveil. And I'm not sure if I'm ready for it just yet. Wooden planks mixed with the reed roofing. Yeah, there's so much depth to this. The reed roofing feels totally different from the wooden planks now. It's a different feel to it. This is as if you're actually walking into a barn where reed or hay is stored for the creatures, for the animals. We climb up this ladder, and then we don't see a lot of wooden planks anymore. Don't matter. It don't matter. The real thing that I want to see is a windowsill with wooden planks, but we just don't see it anywhere. Here the bricks, brick and Morty. There's bricks everywhere. Ooh, nice floor. Metallic nails in there. Wow, wow, wow. Cinder blocks column is also a block that we still need to do, because we need to add it to the brick pillar as well. We should not forget about that. Signpost. Random Wonder. Last one. La Primavera, built by Leyenda. Just take a look at the depth of this. Oh, it's so good. Like the walls are made out of, okay, ruby sand, so we don't have that texture in there just yet. But oh, the detailing, the look of it, the smell of it. Like it's pixel art deluxe. This is so good. It's pixel art deluxe. I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the time of my life. And I never seen this before. Yes, I swear. Wooden planks. Oh, yo. Wooden planks. And they're spectacular. They're phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. AAA would play again. This looks so good. And around when this would come to the real game. Oh, and you're asking for a time frame. Yeah, so I am still working out the details on when I'm getting all of these textures done. The artwork creation is definitely the hardest part of this. And there's a horse over here. Hi horse. How you doing? Let's time lapse on top of that wooden building over here. Go through the trees. I like it. I'm in love with the style. And of course, we threw away a lot of babies and bathwater today. But check it out. You don't need all of the albedo tricks. This still looks like wooden planks. And it's the only way I know that I can make it consistent. So let me just work on it for a while, a bit longer. See, it looks so good. No, seriously. This looks good. This looks good. Equatoria by Rotwa. Okay, this is metals only. This is metal from start to finish. Amelia is in love. You and me both. It's just so good. I love gold. Yeah, there's too much gold here. Another productive creating day. Got to run. Later nerds, later crunchy. We'll see you. Have a nice weekend. Yeah, it's nice. We're making progress here. We did the reed roofing, we did the roofing tiles, we did wooden planks. We even took a look at making things look more round. But that was not a good idea, so that's just what happens. Sometimes the idea is good, sometimes it isn't. Psychedelia, this does have wood. Let's take a look. Cinder blocks table. So why does the cinder blocks table not have a cinder blocks texture? Is a question that we could ask. What is up with that? We are no. But we do have some wooden poles here. Yeah, and again, check out the difference between the top portion and the bottom portion. I think we can do away with the albedo hack. I love gold too. What? Gold. Gold. We love the gold. It's pretty good. Yeah, Mr. Crimson, you've got a very nice wooden floor over here. Gold. Yes, gold. That's what I understand. All of the other things I do not understand. Why is the cinder blocks table like this? Why doesn't it have a texture on top? One of world's greatest mysteries. Last wonder, seriously, I want to eat lunch and I need to... No, we're not going to San Rafar. Or we are going to San Rafar, but then the other way. We're gonna take a look at that girl. There's always a girl who walks to the hot tub. We're gonna sit in the hot tub. With the girl,
Like that
preferably,
new
but if the
treasure
girl is not
smell.
here, then we will do it without the girl. It's Linda. Linda, baby. Are you coming to the hot tub? I will, No, I will not finish this sentence. But check it out, here. Reed roofing, or the reed. The reed looks good next to the bricks. Then we cross the wooden bridge, like this. With some marble thrown in for good measure. Your game seems much more alive with the new textures you're adding. Yeah, that's the ID. That's the general ID. Is the hot tub to the left? Oh, this is for the boys. This is blue for the boys. And the other one is for the girls. It's probably got pink in there. Yup. So maybe I will not undress. I will just sit on the side of the hot tub then, like this. Here, there's Linda. Here we go. Linda is sitting in the hot tub, and I'm like, I'm still dressed. There's nothing bad going on here. But again, we've got the bamboo floor. You didn't even notice that the bamboo was on the floor. We've got wood on the pillars to the sides. The plaster is probably a block that we'll work on next live stream or so. So lots of things to like start to experiment with again. And I know that some people will say like, yeah, Firefly, but you removed the albedo, the wood grain from the wooden planks. And you're absolutely correct. But we need to shoot for a consistent style, and that's my main goal. And I'm not sure if the wood grain is part of it.
Hey, sweetheart.
Because again, there's a secret thing that I cannot show you at the moment, but I will show you in a later live stream. And of course, like maybe you're right, maybe there should be wood grain in here. Maybe we can signal that this is wood otherwise, like maybe indeed adding some kind of like irregularities. But I want to see if we can make it simple first. Consistent style, wise words, yes. Oh, it's just so good. Just feel, this is so realistic, just the way that the sunlight is hitting the ground here, and it just lights up all of the materials, and then you move into the dark portion of the woods, and it gets this colder feel to it, because the sky is reflecting, you get a bit more blues in here, and it's just so realistically shaded, but we want to combine it with cartoon-like textures. I think we're on the right track here. It's just so much fun to walk around in this world. Like the grass feels so nice. Like just being here, it feels so much more alive and like realistic. A customer, jolly good show. Yes, dear sir, I am your customer for today. Still though, we're going to the mines of Moria. When I first entered the game, I kind of wish the environment was more cartoonist than it was. Okay. So you're getting yours. You're gonna get yours. So this is like a dream come true, somehow to see you working on it. Yes. Again, here, the fake texture on the column, it's just too much. It's like standing out too much.
Oh.
But the bricks on the roof, they are nice. They can stay. They can stay. Are the lamps still working? Great. Okay, this gives me a bit more confidence that they will be working when I'm live streaming. Wood everywhere. A wooden table. Welcome to the town hall. I'm just gonna barge in here. Never mind me. Who is this dude? Yeah. Yeah. Paraíso. Is this the last one then? Is this the last one? Everyone is the last one. Oh, just saw the... Oh. I'm a bit scared of the big buildings that the pro builders have made. I'm pretty sure that if you ask them nicely, or even if you don't ask them nicely, if you ask them, many of them would be willing to give you tips. We've got Ruan working on a new build, which is, as far, like I've seen one picture, and I visited like by accident once. It's looking so good already. Everyone can probably give you some good tips. Oh, a bit of lag there. And Obi is probably still around to give you some tips. We've got Angelio's masterclass. Ooh, we walk towards the castle here or the village. Check out the lighting on this. See this, how the grass reflects the lighting, the lanterns that are here. Also on the marble or the tiles that we have here. It's just goosebumps every time. New textures will change the whole atmosphere. No, it won't. I think like this new style shows that whatever you build, it will look good no matter what. Whatever you build, it will look good no matter what happens. Goosebumps, I feel it too. There you go. There you go. Emotions on the live stream. There are many emotions. Indoor areas, outdoor areas, everything just looks so good. Like it finally feels that this, like everything that you see in the game exists. Let's drop down to the train station. Here, take a look at this, the train station at night. We've got Brave Wolf over here, he's in love with his reflection. We've got Toshino over there. How are you doing, Toshino? Can we enter the train? Yeah. We're in the train. The train will leave in 5 minutes, you better hurry. Hey, I will leave in 5 minutes, you better hurry. We're inside the train. The Pank is over there. The Pank, he's looking like a tank. He's sitting on the bench. Saya akan mengunjungi kota berikutnya. I never visited this place. I never asked for this. This is the train station. This is the Grand Central of Mount Thema. Amelia, it's a new trick in the game. I will show you. Because I want to do one more wonder. If you go to the Angeldust website, you already know this. You can use ad.st or you can go to playangeldust.com. On the About page, there's now all of the wonders are listed here. And it says /tw, so you use this command in the game to go to any wonder that you like. So for instance, if we, as a finishing touch, want to visit San Carlos, wonder number 31, we just enter in the chat box, teleport wonder 31. And then you can specifically visit any wonder that you would like to see. So now we're at San Carlos. It needs to stream in because I removed my chunk files a few streams ago. I'm in the grass. The grass is me now.
Nothing like that.
And we go into
New
one of the
treasure
houses.
smell.
OMG. Yeah, so you can now visit all of the wonders whenever you feel like it. You're not tied to the random thing anymore. These interiors are so good. Oh, they're so good. This really adds to the game, yes. Here, we're nearing like 100% texture completion for this room. And these things here at the top, oh, those are red curtains. Okay, so they show up as metallic because that's sort of the overlaid portion there. And I know people like their wood grain albedo, but maybe this is just enough. Maybe this is just what you need. There's a comfy bed, let's sit on it. Oh, yeah, Amelia, you already knew this probably, but we have two sitting poses. You can sit on the side of things, like this. This room makes me want to live there. Like you can sit like this, or you can sit like this. Role-playing deluxe. This room makes me want to live there. And let's get up. So this way you can teleport to like every wonder that you want to visit. Cinnabon Village, for instance. It's got a blue wooden floor. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, blue wooden floor. I'm liking this. So we close Xcode. I'm done for today. I want to go eat lunch. It's already been, or it's already a bit later than I wanted it to be, but don't worry. We had a lot of fun and we made good progress on defining some new textures. So let's close this. We can close our terminals. We can close the code generation. I love it even more when I can sit in 2 different ways. Hey, there you go. Eat well, bon appetit. Merci. Merci. What's in the trash? Bamboo sticks. Empty the trash. Okay. So this was a stream for today, mostly. I hope everyone had fun watching another stream of progress with the textures. I did have the lighting, the stream lighting going on in the background with the purple and blue lights. Just testing if they will work if I stream for longer than 2 hours. And it definitely works. It's been 3.5 hours. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you saw something interesting. I will see you again in the next stream. I think I will be streaming maybe Sunday morning. So on Sunday, maybe. Sounds like a good time. Angeldust Live, the game show itself, will probably be on Sunday evening. So not this evening, but Sunday evening. And I will probably not be streaming development on Monday or Tuesday, because then they will cut the power once more. They have to install new conduits and like the new power lines and the new, I think it's even a gas pipe or something that they will want to add to my house or replace. So I will probably then stream on Wednesday or so. It's been really fun doing these development live streams again. Progress might seem slow, but I really think we're working towards a nice consistent style and everything is starting to look so good. And there's still one secret thing that I haven't shown you just yet, but that will be in a future live stream, where once we have a decent set of textures covered, I will show you something else entirely. And hopefully you will love it, but that will also explain why I'm not wanting to reuse too much of the old style for the game. So we're going to see what happens with that. I thought I might have missed it in your previous stream. Nice new background, nice choice to skip the development for these days. And yeah, if I don't have power, I can't even stream. Yeah, on the Angeldust Live I have a bit of a better camera, which has got more dynamic range and things look even better than this. But it's like we've got the display case with some of the like Angeldust doodads in there, which are nice. And yeah, it just adds a bit more atmosphere to the live streaming. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Amelia, thank you for dropping by. Crunchy, Tinspin, like thanks everyone. Double shirt today, see you around. Yeah, it's got the white collar here, and then hey, you know me. Also, it's this one is long sleeved, but if I put up my arms like this, like the sleeves fall back, so it doesn't look like a long sleeve shirt. So I have to do it like this. Oh yeah, long sleeve. Anyway, it's all good. Hope you liked today's live stream. Next stream will be different. We'll probably apply some patches to remove the mirroring on some of the blocks, or maybe we won't. Maybe we can do that later on. Maybe we'll focus on the textures, but textures to look forward to: cinder blocks column, maybe even with the overgrown variant, and then we might pick up the wooden pole as well, and then start working on the timber framing, plaster, maybe replace those. It's pretty cool. I'm currently working out. I'm currently working, sorry, and still working, done in 1 hour. I may miss your next stream if you do it about the same times, but I'll be here probably at the end. Sure, don't worry about it, Amelia, but on Sunday, you might have time. We'll see. I think I will be streaming on Sunday morning. Everything's easy on Sunday morning. I work from home anyways. Hey, you and me both. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all of the comments. On Sunday you work. Hey, me too. Thanks for all of the positivity, all of the feedback. Crunchy, thanks for the brainstorming. Even though we didn't use the 6 read ID in the end, it was still a good idea to try it. Ciao, ciao. See you later. Have a good weekend. And like, peace out. Bye bye. And now I have to press the button like this. Yeah, that was a live stream. Thanks everyone for being here. Bon appetit, good night. It's morning here, but thank you. It's lunch. Eat well, I will, thank you. I'm now going over to YouTube and I will stop the stream. Later.